Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Sorry, I'm very hungry. I haven't had anything to eat all day. Ah, so I'm gonna be munching.
Mm.
Hmm. I am cutting my ramen with scissors. Do you ever cut your ramen with scissors so that when you scoop it, it's like not long and stringy?
I've never done that.
You've never done that before? I do this all the time. I love doing this. Maybe I'm not the only one. Maybe I am. All right, Manny. It has been. This one was just as last minute as the other one because I forgot that I was busy on Sunday and I fucked up our schedule. So I apologize. But um, we made it in time nonetheless.
Mm.
So you watched the movies and stuff,
Yes.
and you also watched Sonny Boy.
Yes.
So did you watch anything else besides that?
Um. Um. I, After watching the Batman movie, I'm still under like this Batman buzz. So I was
Ooh.
looking at a Batman movie, a show to watch. I was gonna watch the Batman animated show, but I ended up watching Justice League one,
Ooh.
and
That's
I watched like
cool.
the first. I watched the first 13 episodes. It's
Damn. That's
it's
good.
really it's really cool. Like I missed out on watching these animated shows when I was a kid because this shit is so fire.
They're the best like DC content.
Yeah.
People
And I love
liked
how like
people liked DC more than Marvel because of these shows.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy because like the thing is with the show is that like all the underrated characters get a lot of limelight.
Yeah.
Like Hawk Girl puts in so much work. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
like and like when they first meet up and like Superman's like Hawk Girl, get behind me, and then she's like just ran around him and started just fucking people up. That was like the first episode, and even after that, she's like low key been carrying the whole group.
That's really cool. Is there any are there any episodes that like stick out? Like if you had to give like the best episodes of season 1?
Well, I'm not done with season one, but from the ones I saw, I like the ones when they first came together because
Mhm.
it was Martian Manhunter who brought them together,
Really?
and they had no teamwork, and then
That's so
like at the
cool.
end of the episode, um, they're like, yo, let's make like a Justice League type of thing. Then they all put their hands in, and then they all look like, yo, Batman, you're not gonna come. Batman says some funny shit. He was like, I work alone or something like that. And
Yeah, that's cool.
so that yeah, it's the show's really good. And instead of Hal Jordan Green Lantern, it's the
It's
John Stewart.
the black guy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. That was
and
my Green Lantern. I'm not even saying that as a joke. Like that's the one I knew as a kid. I knew the black
yeah,
one.
yeah. So I've been enjoying that. And then fucking because of the last episode in My Dress Up Darling.
Yeah.
Because the last episode, I was like, I just want to watch another romance right now. And I watched the first episode of this other show. It's called Tsundere Children. I
Is it
think I'm gonna
old?
watch. Huh?
Is it old or is it new?
It came out in 2017.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, so that's what I've been doing.
All right. No other Batman content. That's all the Batman stuff.
Yeah, just this is Justice League.
How's Elden Ring?
Elden Ring. Elden Ring is a lot of fun,
That's good.
but Elden Ring challenges me.
Yeah. So you haven't been playing it as much?
No, I've been playing it.
Hmm.
Usually, like when no one's online, I hop on,
Right.
make progress. Like there's so much content, there's so much shit to do. So I'm gonna definitely finish the game. And yeah,
Yeah.
Elden Ring is amazing.
Cool. So I guess you can talk about Sonny Boy before we get into any of the movies.
Sonny Boy. Ah, man.
Wait a minute.
Boy.
Maybe I should talk about the stuff that I watched.
Yeah, that's what you watch. Yeah.
I wrote it all down because I watched a lot of movies. Give me 1 second. So I watched a movie called Fargo, which is a crime drama that takes place in the South and stuff, and it's made by the guys who made No Country for Old Men, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm recommending it solely on the fact that it's made by the same people and it's kind of like the same type of story. It's a lot more funny than No Country for Old Men, but it is also serious, so it's like a mix of funny and a mix of serious. And I'm not gonna sit here and say it's as good as No Country for Old Men because I don't even remember that movie that much. But Fargo, it also won Best Picture at the Oscars. It also won Best Actress, just like No Country for Old Men won Best Actor. So I guess like statistically they're on the same merit, kind of.
Yeah.
So Fargo. I watched a movie called Saturday Night Fever. It has John Travolta in it. He fucking dances. They play like 70s music, like da, na, na, staying alive, and he dances to the music. And John Travolta, it was when he was like not ugly and he was like fucking sexy as fuck, and he got bitches. And I think it's my favorite movie. So there's that. That is a 10 out of 10 in my book. I like it a lot. Then I watched a try-hard artsy movie called The Holy Mountain, and one of the YouTubers, probably my favorite YouTuber, says that this is his favorite movie, so I was very excited to watch this. And I always get anxious for artsy movies because I don't know if I'm going to get it or if it's going to be too complicated. But I actually did understand this movie, and I was able to like decipher it, and it was very, very good. And I think that even though it's like try hard and artsy, I think it's something that you would enjoy too. It's like Mononoke, like not Princess Mononoke, like Mononoke, but like even harder. Like if it makes any sense, like it's even harder to understand than that, but it has like that style where everything is conveyed through like visual metaphors. You have to like, they don't show you directly what's on screen, but they'll show you something kind of like it. So you have to like kind of infer what's happening. It's really cool.
Right.
I love the movie. So I'd recommend it. I think it might be on HBO. It might not be, but The Holy Mountain. And then I watched a movie called Fantastic Planet, which is a artsy.
Oh, that shit's on HBO Max.
Yeah. Okay. So you know about that. Yeah. That is very good. I know that you would like that too. So it's really short. It's only an hour and 12 minutes. So I would highly recommend it. I'm pretty sure that you would enjoy it. Fantastic Planet was good. And then Sunday, the reason why I had to cancel the call was because I forgot that I was doing an all-day Lord of the Rings marathon at the theater. And it was from 11 a.m. to midnight, and it was all day, and it was fucking awesome. It was like the coolest. Yeah. It was the coolest experience I've ever had. And that's why I couldn't call on Sunday. And I'm upset because I wanted to tell you about that in case you wanted to maybe talk about Lord of the Rings, like for a whole episode. Like, but I forgot that like marathon session was in between like the last episode and this episode. So I was like, fuck. But I love Lord of the Rings, and I fucking love it. It's on par with like Star Wars and The Matrix, as like I understand why they're classics in that way.
Right.
The first Lord of the Rings is a 10 out of 10. It's one of my favorite movies. And the other two are good, but it's kind of like a Matrix situation where like the first one can't be matched. So, but they're still good. And then I watched. Have you ever heard of you know who Akira Kurosawa is? Like the guy who made Seven Samurai. He's like a classic. Yeah. I watched a movie
I know him from Seven. Yeah.
Yeah. He made a movie called Rashomon, and it's one of his like highly regarded samurai movies. That is a movie that I know that you will like, and I'm recommending. I watched a lot of other things, but I'm picking the ones that I know that you will like, and that's on HBO Max if you want to watch that. And then I watched another movie from the people who made No Country for Old Men called Raising Arizona, and it has Nicolas Cage, and it's also a Southern movie where they talk all Southern and funny. This one's not serious at all, though. It's a full-blown comedy, but I think it's really funny, and it's made by the No Country for Old Men guys, so you might like it. And that is everything I watched. So that's all that. A lot of shit. And I'm 2 seasons deep into Attack on Titan. And I want to be caught up because to my understanding, the next episode will be the last episode. So hopefully we'll talk about it on the next episode. And hopefully after this, I'll be caught up. I also watched every movie that we're going to talk about twice.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
All
right. Talk about Sonny Boy.
Sonny Boy, a Madhouse original. Also, it's been like 7 years since Madhouse did an original, and I find it interesting how they would go for something like Sonny Boy, because Sonny Boy is so try hard.
Yeah.
It's extremely subtle, extremely subtle. So I already like it because it's subtle, you know. It's you're already seeing the art style.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. Sometimes there's parts in the show, especially in the last episode, with the it looks like so beautiful, like, and like, you know, this type of art style is usually what we see in like movies.
Right.
It's just like, from what I'm guessing, that show that's about, what's that movie you saw with the girl?
We watched it and talked about it?
No, you watched it. It's about
Josie the Tiger and the Fish?
No, it's
Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop?
No, it's
a movie that I saw that you didn't see that I brought up on the podcast.
Yeah, anime movie.
It had a girl in it?
Yeah.
Mirai?
It's right. No, it's right on the tip of my tongue.
What's it about?
It's like, it has to do with Tatsumi Galaxy.
Oh, the Night is Short, Walk On Girl.
Yeah, from what I've seen from that cover,
yeah,
it kind of looks like that. So for anime, like, this art style is really unique, so that's really good. And the show is so good. Because I was talking about it with my friend,
right?
And I went very in deep, but I don't know if you're gonna watch it, but I think it's very worth it. Okay. And you told me you saw like the first 5 episodes, right?
I think I saw the first 3. The last thing I remember, it was a little episodic, so it wasn't.
Yeah.
I didn't remember exactly, but I remember there was like a subplot about a girl and her cat, and she had a power where like she could give people things, and then the economy was kind of born around just her, and it was fucking things up.
Yeah, she's that's her background episode. She's like a main character later on.
Right.
But the show is episodic with one goal, and the end is to like go back home.
Right.
When you like throughout the show, it's like it dives so deep because like the MC and the girl you're just speaking about, like, their home life is like very like kind of just shitty, right?
Yeah.
And you wonder like, why does these people like are so like eager to go home? And the show's so confusing. Like, it's so hard to talk about, especially because you haven't watched it.
Yeah,
it's very
I know.
hard to talk about, but
yeah, you don't have to talk about it in detail. I just wanted to know if you thought it was good or bad, really.
Yeah, it's I thought it was incredible.
Okay, good.
And I thought, even though like its theme has been done before, I really like how it was done in this show. I thought it was really good.
Cool.
It's like, to me, it's one of the best 12 episode anime ever, in my opinion. It's one of like, and when I think of like 12 episodes, I'm not talking about like a show that's like 12 episodes and that's it. You know, like something like Death Parade. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the show did a lot in 12 episodes, and you know I'm a fiend for the subtleness. So, and that show is extremely subtle. Like I remember watching it. Now I'll like go on Reddit after every episode.
That's so cool.
I'll literally read like paragraphs and paragraphs of like discussions, theories, and like what it all meant. And then it kind of ties up at the end, but then it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like just left up to your interpretation. So
that's really
I thought
cool.
It was really good.
I'll definitely check it out. Attack on Titan kind of comes first. And I would like to talk about it as soon as possible so that it's like fresh in your mind. So maybe that can be for next episode. Maybe it can be for later, but you've definitely piqued my interest. I didn't dislike it. The main thing that demotivated me is because there was like a YouTube interview before the show like finished, and the guy like spoiled his own show. Like the director like said what was happening like in the thing. I was like, oh my God, bro. And I don't want to say it to you because I don't want your reaction to like add to the spoiler, but you know.
I'm gonna have no reaction.
Okay. He said that they were in like an alien dimension or something along those lines. And the show does not articulate that in its first 3 episodes. You're supposed to not understand that, and it's supposed to be kind of a mystery, like what's going on. And when he said that, I was like, what the fuck? Like, why would you tell me that? Like, I don't so I don't know how true that is. I don't know if there's like more room for interpretation, but it came out of the dude's mouth, so I was like, oh my God. But I'm still gonna watch it.
That's interesting that he would say that.
Yeah, I will watch it, and then I'll rewatch that to make sure exactly what he said. I'm paraphrasing because it's been like a couple months, but I'm glad that you enjoyed it. What would you rate it?
Probably in year like 8.4.
Okay, cool. That's good. Now I'm very intrigued, given your very positive review. All right.
I want to make like a list of the best 12 episodes. Death Parade is probably number.
Really? I haven't seen Death Parade. I gotta check that out.
You know, Light Yagami was in a Death Parade episode.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Like the character Light Yagami, is it made by the guy who made?
I don't know. He pulled up in like episode 6, and you know why it makes so sense, because like when Light dies in Death Note, like
yeah,
it's like he doesn't go to heaven or go to hell. Like,
right.
He becomes like a Shinigami. And it's like weird seeing him in this place. Like it's like right when he dies.
Oh my God, that's
like,
so. Oh my God, that would have been like the coolest shit if I didn't know it. Fuck.
Oh.
No, it's okay. Don't worry.
I thought you watched it.
No, I didn't watch it.
Seen Death Parade?
No, I haven't seen Death Parade. I'll still watch it despite that. That's actually more inclination to watch it. Fuck. All right. Cool.
Death Parade is very interesting.
All right. Well, I guess we can get into the movies. I think we should start with Ninja Scroll. Do you want to start with Ninja Scroll?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ninja Scroll.
I
feel like I would have liked this movie if I haven't seen
Wicked City.
It's like the same exact thing.
Yeah, it's the exact same movie.
The only different thing here is that the female lead dies. It's like a cool stoic MC, mad like a girl that doesn't like the dude at the start, goes to like him, and then the old guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the same. It's the same exact. The only thing different is the setting.
I know. Yeah.
But
yeah, so it's like a Nausicaa situation where like you think the movie's like decent, but you don't like it because you just saw a movie that was exactly the same. I
wouldn't even call it decent. I don't even think it was good at all.
Wow, really? You didn't enjoy because of the similarity to Wicked City, or because of dislikes that you had?
I think it's the Wicked City thing.
Okay. Interesting. I knew it was probably going to affect your experience because it did affect mine, but I'm surprised that you didn't enjoy it at all. Because I thought it was better than Wicked City in almost every way.
It is better than Wicked City. They're both ass. It's just that I just wish I watched this first.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was expecting so much more, like, because Ninja Scroll is like, it's a as here people call it a classic.
Mm-hmm.
It's a legendary like anime film.
Yeah.
I went into it like expecting like some greatness, but it's like, you know, like I think like Sword of the Stranger did this kind of thing like better.
Like how when you say Sword of the Stranger did this?
It's like mysterious vagabond samurai guy.
Really?
Or Ronin guy. I thought that dude was more interesting in that one. Like if I had to pick which one's better, I would say Sword of the Stranger is better.
I can see that. I can see where you're coming from. I did like Ninja Scroll. I did kind of have that once. Well, I did see this before I saw Wicked City, so I already kind of have like it's been sitting in my brain for a long time. I've already seen it. My initial reaction was like, oh, that was like a fun action-y thing, but it wasn't really anything more than that. And now that I've seen Wicked City and now that I understand his aesthetic and what he's trying to go for, and after I like analyzed Wicked City frame by frame and like why it was bad, watching Ninja Scroll just put a grin on my face because I do like Wicked City despite its issues, and I just wish it didn't have them. And Ninja Scroll kind of is just the same thing without the overly gratuitous like sexual stuff, but it still has the sexual stuff, so it's still edgy and cool, but it doesn't get in the way of the story like Wicked City. And the fights are a lot more like engaging and varied because they all have like unique superpowers that I really like. And there's like a central antagonist that's like really connected to the main character, so I'm kind of connected to like the story, and I like the bad guys a lot more than in Wicked City. They feel like more important. And I like the gimmick with the female character more than Wicked City as well. And the old guy was better than in Wicked City. Like he was annoying, but the movie acknowledged that he was annoying, and like they knew the whole time like this guy is being an inconvenience to these characters, but we're gonna write him this way, and the main characters are constantly gonna like talk snarky to him because they know that he's bad. Right. So yeah, I liked it. And yeah, I gave Wicked City like a 5 out of 10, but those were really just for its like flaws. Overall, I did enjoy it, and Ninja Scroll is just the same thing to me, but better. Better enough to where I liked it to watch it 2 times. And I have a lot of compliments to give to the movie. I don't want to take too much time because I know that you might not have much to add, but I think the movie is very like boom, 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 boom. Like it doesn't waste any time. Like Wicked City didn't really waste that much time either, but this movie was very much like fight, you know, a little bit of exposition, but like the exposition isn't bad. Fight, exposition, like, you know, the girl dies, final battle, done. And it's like, oh, it's such a fun ride for me the whole time, like as I'm watching it. And there's a lot of like subtle things about the movie that I do really enjoy. I really like that none of the bad guys, like all their deaths are at the hand of their faults because of their infighting with one another, or because of like a weakness that they have when it comes to their character, or when it comes to not understanding their power. So like the big muscle guy, like that turned to stone, like, you know, he was like, you know, indulging in the girl, and he like raped her, and that's what got him killed. It's not because the main character killed him, it's because he got poisoned by the thing, and then like his sword like hit him and it like damaged him. And then the bee guy like fell in the water, and he like wasn't paying attention to the fact that the bees would sting him when he was in the water. And all the characters, like every single character dies at the hands of their own shortcomings. And I like how the final guy dies like drowning in the gold that he aspired to like get the entire movie. I think that's kind of cool. It's simple, but it works really well for me. And he dies like Dio, so I just really like it because he has a scar in his neck and he regenerates, and the guy cuts him in half, and it just reminded me of JoJo so much. And yeah, there's probably some other things that I have to say about it, but I know that this is a very simple movie and it doesn't really spark a lot of conversation, so I won't spend too much time on it. I will look at my notes and then we can move on once I finish everything I need to say. There are I guess you compared it to Sword of the Stranger, but when you think of other samurai pieces of media, like what does any other things come to mind that you like more than this?
Samurai Champloo. Afro Samurai. I watched a bunch of samurai shows. So after I watched Samurai Champloo, I was on like a samurai kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a bunch of different samurai shows, and this one's what I can really take away from this movie is the MC's character design. I thought was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just feel like it's just Wicked City.
Yeah.
Wicked City came out in 89, right? 1989.
Yeah, 1989, and this was 1992 or 93. So this was this was like 5 years after that. Yeah. Yeah.
It's too much. It's the same thing.
I feel you.
Once I saw the old guy, I was like, I know what this is.
Yeah. I understand. I wonder if I haven't seen Vampire Hunter D. I wonder if it's going to be like the same thing. maybe we'll skip that one.
I think we should. But yeah. I think one thing else, I like Wicked City's ending more, with just them two coming together with their relationship.
Really?
That's the one thing I was like. That's the one thing I really took away from Wicked City is their relationship. But with this one, like, when the girl died, I was like, okay, that's different.
Right.
And now he's gonna fight the final boss, and then he wins.
Yeah.
And that's kind of.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of it. But like, for Sword of the Stranger, like the theme is like I really like the theme of Sword of the Stranger. It was like, I know I didn't talk highly of it when we spoke about it, but the whole thing was like the reason why he didn't die because he got the gift from the kid. And that gift came from his kindness to help him out. Yeah. And in the end, that saved him. Mm-hmm. And he killed him with the Sword of the Stranger. Right. I thought that whole concept was cool, and that really like tidied up the movie at the end.
Yeah.
I thought that was just a great theme for the movie. Whereas I didn't really take away any themes from this movie.
It was really just the relationship between the girl and the dude, and in the same vein as Wicked City, where Wicked City's kind of just about love saves the day. I felt the same way with Ninja Scroll, and they did it in a different way where like, because she can't have sex, like the dude, like she says it in the movie. She says it when she dies. She's like, I was pushing myself away from you because I was scared of getting close to you and liking you. And, I can't really share my love with you in any way, so I didn't want to do that. But I was really hoping that I could share my love with you, being that you're the one person that I could possibly do it with. And I don't want to say it's cliche because I can't think off the top of my head where I've seen that before, but I feel like I've seen that before somewhere. But it worked really well for me, that theme. And the way that ties into the final battle, for me, it's basic, but when he like grabs the dude's like coat thing and he like smashes his fucking the thing that the girl gave him like on the dude's head and it like crushes. That's a small moment, but that's where it kind of came full circle to me, because you also have to take into account that guy is very like misogynistic. He's not very loving. He's kind of reflective of a lot of the bad guys in Wicked City, where he doesn't respect women. Like in the beginning, it shows like the Chamberlain like fucking like a girl, if you remember that scene, like closer to the beginning of the movie. And then it's revealed at the end that he was the Chamberlain the whole time, you know? And even his like goons are like lusting over him like the whole movie, like, I want to fuck the boss. So it's cool that the misogynistic like evil fuck that like wants the gold gets beat by like the guy who loves and cares for like the girl so much that he didn't have sex with her. And I like that he didn't have sex with her, because the only way that she could know that he loved her was if he didn't fuck her. Because if he had sex with her, then there are so many things that she could have derived, like, oh, maybe he did it just so he could get cured. Maybe he did it out of pity, da-da-da-da-da. But when he hugs her and then he just dips, then it's telling her like, hey, I really do love you and respect you, and I'm not going to use this situation to like, you know, take advantage of you like for my own desires. And it is basic, and I do actually like the themes of Sword of the Stranger more as well. So I agree with you in that sense, but that's what I feel like Ninja Scroll was going for. And if I had to say how it came full circle, I'd say in that sense. I think it was just about kind of love, really. And it's basic, but it was done in an edgy, cool kind of way. And I loved it. I think the strongest parallel is Wicked City, but the other one that I did draw was Afro Samurai, because he's a samurai and he has to fight like 8 bad guys that come at him in like waves. And I like it probably just as much as Afro Samurai. I think as like a boss movie where he's like fighting boss battles, I think I like Ninja Scroll's bosses more than Afro Samurai's bosses, if you know what I mean.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you think it's crazy? I remember
because everyone remembers the last one.
Yeah, the final boss in Afro Samurai is good. I remember the bear, the final boss, and then there was a guy with a rocket launcher, and then there was the robot Afro Samurai. And was that it? Were there other ones? I think that was it. But I remember. Go ahead.
I say that because like Afro Samurai is just so stylistic, and you know Afro himself is so cool. Yeah, I'm not saying that the dude from Ninja Scroll isn't cool, but I feel like a lot of the boss fights in Ninja Scroll like weak. Like the shadow guy, like he just throws his sword into the shadow.
I will admit, a lot of the boss fights are kind of like a 1-2, and then they're dead. Yeah. And I do agree in that sense. I just kind of like what they represent for the bad guy, and like how it's reflective of like, oh, this guy lost because like, you know, the guy that has like the string thing that electrocutes people, he lost because he got exploded from the other girl and he was being a bitch to her the whole time. The other girl lost because her gunpowder thing, she got thrown with oil, and you know, her power was the result of her demise. Even though they die in very quick ways, like you probably can't even call any of them fights because they're so short, but the way they die and how like their powers are always the result of their demise, or like their characters the result of their demise. That's what I really enjoyed. And the set pieces when they died also kind of gave it this level of like heft that's not like the right word, but it made it a little bit more eventful, you know, like when he's fighting the blind guy in like the bamboo forest, like he doesn't do that with any of the other characters, you know. It feels like, you know, let's go to this stage, like the level to fight the boss in this level, and he uses the environment to his advantage. So, and then he fights the shadow guy in like the dawn and it's all red. I do understand where you're coming though. You're absolutely justified in feeling that way. Even the fights in Wicked City felt more like fights. Yeah, that's valid. The only real fight is the last fight. And even that is like super brief. So, yeah. Yeah.
That's why I said that. To me, the Afro comparison is crazy. I think the Afro, just the animation alone is just like,
yeah.
Just the last fight alone is like,
right. I know the animation in Afro Samurai is great, but I love the animation here. I really do. I know it's like basic, but I really like cell animation. I really like that kind of like you're putting cells onto a thing and you're taking a picture. I like that. It's tactile. I also really like whenever they use lights, because the lights reflect onto the cell and you can see that it's like an actual light, and it just resonates with me a lot. I like Kawajiri's art style. I like his character design, or whoever is the character designer on these movies. But I can understand, because Afro Samurai is definitely like more frames, more shit's happening. And the choreography is like a lot more interesting in a show like that. That's valid. Say again?
And he's black.
Yeah. And he's black. Yeah, I'm just scrolling through my notes. I think. Go ahead.
That scene where like, I forgot the dude's name, but the dude in Afro Samurai where like, who was like following him, the old guy.
Right.
And like he wasn't like real, but then like he saved him from one of the strikes.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that scene was like so crazy.
I need to rewatch Afro Samurai.
I was like, oh shit.
What did that represent? It's been a long time, I
don't know, because he said something when he died, and Afro was looking at him crazy, like,
yeah.
And I was like, I thought he was fake, and
yeah.
It was like, he is fake.
Yeah,
it's like, what really happened, you know? Mm-hmm. I was like, oh shit.
I remember being very confused, but it probably had a little bit more narrative significance. Do you like Afro Samurai Resurrection?
I didn't watch that.
Oh, you didn't? Wow. You should. We should probably talk about that. No? Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be fun. But let me look at my notes real quick. One thing I wanted to say about the animation. I like Wicked City. I like the art style. I like the way it looks. It connects with me a lot. Wicked City is blue. Ninja Scroll is blue, red, green. It's like the whole fucking rainbow. I love like that it just varies in terms of its colors so much. I like that a lot about Ninja Scroll. That's just a brief thing that I wanted to mention. And I understand why this guy is considered like a classic amongst a lot of people, like this director, because he has a very specific style. He makes very edgy things, and he has a very clean like character design and art style with the cell animation. And I'm very interested in Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, and I guess I'll tell you how it is whenever I choose to watch it. Apparently they were trying to make a sequel to this movie, but it never got off the ground. There's like a trailer and everything, but Ninja Scroll wasn't very popular in Japan, so it didn't get any investors. And they're like, oh, maybe if we like get the West to produce it in some way, because it's popular in America, which is very interesting. I think the reason why I like it is just because Japanese shit is just so foreign to me, and I will always find like samurai and stuff like cool. But maybe
I think that's the case.
Yeah.
Just that whole culture is it is super cool.
Yeah.
The whole samurai thing. But probably to Japanese people, just like
whatever. Yeah.
But like fucking like some warrior shit, you know?
Yeah.
Just like Vikings, like people love Vikings and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the exact same thing. You're right.
Like our equivalent is fucking cowboys, and cowboys are originally like Mexican, so it's like we just stole that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's it. I want to say nah. I already said that. Yeah. I think I've talked about every single thing. Okay, I want to talk about the rape scene a little bit, and how, like I said in my Wicked City discussion, like the Ninja Scroll did it a lot better, and it did do a lot better. Number one, because it's toned way the fuck down compared to Wicked City, but it's also the way it's used in this movie. It's part of the narrative, it's part of the themes, and It's used very sparingly, and even the scene itself is not like her actually getting like penetrated or whatever. It's you're seeing like this dude, he's like putting his mouth like over her face and stuff, and he's doing all this grotesque stuff without it being explicitly rapey like in Wicked City, what I mean? So like you're getting that shock value even though what he's doing is not inherently as bad as the stuff in Wicked City, which is very good way to do it. And the way it was shot and the way it was executed in like the dark, like blue area, it was still very shocking. I think I was very shocked when I watched it before Wicked City, like for the first time. I was like, holy shit, I can't believe I'm seeing this. This is like so much, because I've never seen an anime like do something that explicit. I feel like it's just kind of watered down coming from Wicked City, so it doesn't impact me as much. But I do think that it is still very well executed, and I do still take that into account. And I wanted to bring that up because it was perfect for the movie. It actually like tied into the ending, and sex is like a big component. And I like that in Wicked City, the ending is that they have sex and they fall in love. And this is, they don't have sex and they fall in love because they don't have sex. And I really empathize with her death. Like it connected with me emotionally a lot. Like when she was like, I wish, you made love to me, even if it was out of pity, because no one's ever treated me like a real girl. I connect with that a lot because I try to be a jubei in my reality. I try to be somebody that can connect with people beyond them being girls and being like people that I can have sex with. So that means a lot to me. And I think I have a personal attachment to this movie because I'm an edgy anime bro that likes violence and sex, but I also like the themes. So I like Ninja Scroll. It's good to me. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It's closer to an 8 than it is to a 6. Do you have a rating?
Yeah, probably like a 5.
Gotcha. All right. So Jin-Roh, the Wolf Brigade, the movie that I recommended from the last episode. You want to talk about Jin-Roh before Jujutsu, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So, Jin-Roh, the Wolf Brigade. What did you watch it on Crunchyroll?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in 480p on Crunchyroll,
Yeah.
which was very upsetting. I'm sorry for recommending this because I thought like, I'm gonna watch it on Crunchyroll. It's gonna be fine. I didn't know that it was in such like bad quality, but it was still a good movie nonetheless to me. It was. So this is a very weird like franchise. Apparently like there's a bunch of other things attached to this, like comic books and movies. It's called the Kerberos Saga, and it's about basically a faction of police whose entire purpose is to snuff out people that are causing civil unrest. And their whole thing is like, hey, when riots are getting out of hand, or when like, people are getting a little bit too terroristy, we send in these guys instead of normal police, or instead of the like military force. And the movie is about the psychology of these guys, the Kerberos cops, and the dichotomy between being a like evil cop that has like no morals, that just kills people because they're told to, versus being a normal human being that has emotions. And it's written and not directed, but it's written by Mamoru Oshii, who did Ghost in the Shell. So that's probably like the main parallel that a lot of people will draw when watching this. It feels like Ghost in the Shell, like the music, the overall vibe. Yeah. And I really liked it. I was a little bored the first time, and I was like, but then I watched it again last night, now knowing where it was going, now knowing what was going to happen, and I paid a lot more attention. I took very thorough notes, and I enjoyed it a lot more, and I think it's a very well-written, very smart, very subtle, cool movie, and I have a lot to say about it. What did you think?
I also agree with the whole boring thing. Like,
Yeah.
the movie has trouble like grasping you at the beginning. I did sleep through it.
Yeah.
I slept the first time I watched it, and I went back and watched.
It's
I
a
feel
movie.
like this one,
It'll put you to sleep. It's a very calm movie. Like,
this art style is so. This art style will put you to bed itself.
Yeah.
It looks like Paranoia Agent.
Yeah.
Paranoia Agent is obviously newer. It looks a little better, but you know the 480p Paranoia Agent vibe.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's putting you to bed.
Yeah.
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 I thought it was good as well.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was interesting. I thought the RoboCop. At first, I thought they were RoboCops. When I first saw it,
Me too.
but the uniform is amazing. It looks dope.
Yeah.
The cover itself for the dude standing in front of the moon.
I know. Oh my god, I wrote that in my notes. I'm like, and especially given what the movie is about, it's not like a dumb action movie where they like run around and shoot each other the whole time. It's like the movie is about the psychology of these like quote unquote evil people like on the outside, and it's, you know, the red eyes have this like very evil like symbolism to it. Like you look at it and you think it's a bad person, but it is like a human being under there. So it's so fucking cool. I think it's nice.
Yeah. Nah, it was cool. Yeah, the uniform is dope.
Mm-hmm.
The ending is interesting.
Yeah.
And you know, when he doesn't shoot the girl.
Yeah, in the beginning.
I really did want to like find out everything behind that, you know.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought it was good. Like it was hard to watch at the beginning, but
yes, yeah,
it all came full circle, and it was definitely worth it by the end.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I think I watched it. It's also available on Tubi. Do you know what that is? And on Tubi, you have to watch it with ads. But on Tubi, it was in 720p. So I got to watch it in like proper resolution, and it aided the experience so much, like being able to like watch it like in good quality. And I liked it. I liked it a lot, both times, but even more the second time. I started to really notice the analogy with like the Little Red Riding Hood story and like the significance of that, and what that meant. Because, you know, when she gives him the book, they call the little girl and like the people who do what she does in the movie, they call them Little Red Riding Hoods. So in the analogy, when they keep reciting the poem of, or the haiku, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the story of Little Red Riding Hood, like in the analogy, he is the wolf, and he is like the wolf masquerading as the mom to coerce like the Little Red Riding Hood. But as the movie progressed and as certain moments happened, it started to kind of shift the roles, because the movie is about how the main character struggles with being a wolf and also being a human being. So sometimes the movie will recite the poem, but it will show it. The visuals will express that the dude represents Little Red Riding Hood right now. So when he's in the training room, like when he's training, there's a part in the book where it talks about like, you know, when you grow out the armor, then you can come back to me, Little Red Riding Hood. You can come back to your mom. Little Red Riding Hood took the armor and she tried to whittle it down by rubbing it against the walls. And then, you know, and then it cuts to him in the training room wearing the Kerberos armor. And it's a representation of how he wants to grow out of his armor so he can go back to the mom, or like, so he can go back to being a normal person. But then it cuts to him in the sewers, and now he is the wolf, because then it shows the little girl walk by him. And this is all in like one scene. So it starts with him as Little Red Riding Hood, and then it shifts to him as the wolf. And it's so subtle and it's so cool. And the rest of the movie constantly has that back and forth with his character. but not only him, but now with the other character. Because when you find out that she is betraying him and that she's deceiving him, then she is now the wolf in the analogy that's like in humans' clothing. So when he finds out, like when they put like the pictures in his like in the book, and he knows that he's being betrayed by his like little girlfriend, they recite the poem again, and now it's one of the coolest scenes I've ever seen in like an anime, because the poem is now like based on all the information you've been given throughout the film. The dude represents the wolf and Little Red Riding Hood, and the girl represents the wolf and Little Red Riding Hood at the same time, like simultaneously, and it's so fucking fire, and I love it, and I missed it. I kind of missed it emotionally, at least the first time. Like I understood it when they were talking about it, but like it didn't resonate and hit my heart like until the second time. I was like, oh fuck. I loved it, you know, and it did a very, very good job at doing that.
The whole Red Riding Hood thing is very interesting. You know that scene where she's running in the sewers, and then like the wolves start like appearing behind them.
Yeah,
I thought that scene was so fire.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
and you know when he has the vision of the wolves like eating her and shit.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
I kind of knew it was gonna end like this, but this, you know, I guess, but this I actually like you. I like when shit's done like this because you still don't know, right?
Right.
I think that's before you even know she's deceiving him. So
it's kind of like a Grave of the Fireflies, where like you can tell what's gonna happen at the end, but you don't.
It doesn't take away from anything.
Yeah, it's such a sad ending that you're kind of watching the movie hoping that it doesn't happen, and you're like dreading that ending, but getting to it and the sadness of getting to it is what makes the movie enjoyable. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how at the end the dude was like, yo, what should I do? And he was like, what should you do?
Yeah. He
was saying like you know, wolves can't live with humans, like
right.
Even if you go that route, you will never be a human.
Right.
I was like, yeah, that was so dope.
It was so fire. And I think I remember the specific line. He like hands him. He's like, "What should I do?" He hands him the gun. He's like, end this story while you're an animal, while you still can. Yeah, I fucking thought that was so fire. It was so good. Yeah.
That shit was fire.
Mm-hmm. It was.
That
really
was like the best part of the movie.
Like, yeah.
When he said that, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
yeah. That shit was so dope. Like, do it while you're a beast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then she's crying, and he's like, it's so good because like I feel every emotion like in that scene. I feel like oh, he wants to be a human, but he's a wolf. And it's not just like anime jargon to like just for the sake of a story. It resonates with me. Like I can understand if I was like in a situation like that where I was forced to like do things that were morally unjust like every day, then you kind of just, you know, you're cold to those things, and you right. do things regardless of whether it's right or wrong. Like I don't know, I can resonate with that in my heart. Like that's really cool, because even I do that. Like sometimes, like there are some things that I know like I shouldn't do, but I do them because it's like out of convenience, and it inconveniences someone else, you know? Yeah.
The whole, you know, whenever they brought up the Red Riding Hood thing, that's when I really started to pay attention. Mm-hmm. That's how I knew like what the movie's going to be kind of like revolving around. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was well done.
Yeah. Me too.
And, you know, one thing I also I seen it, like I realized it, but I didn't like fully grasp it. I read it after. They use when they're in their armor, they use MG42s, and those are Nazi guns, and like the movie I also read is like this is when like if the Nazis won World War II post thing, right? Oh. So Nazis won, and now Japan is like using their guns. And even when they was training, they was using STGs, and those are also German guns. I thought that was good.
That is really cool. I didn't fucking know that.
Yeah.
Shit. You did more research than I did.
I just saw the gun. Right when I saw the gun, I was like, that's an MG42. Wow. When they started like letting that shit rip, it was like, I was like, the gun really does fucking shoot like that. It literally shreds, you know. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was dope.
That is really
I
cool.
think it complements the whole like look of their uniform, like a huge LMG.
Yeah, and the themes, and the story. That's really cool. Wow, that just bolstered my impression of the entire movie. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I really liked all the Little Red Riding Hood stuff. I liked when he when it was revealed that he was like in the Wolf Brigade at the end, and you know, the guy that betrayed him, like the entire movies, he's like, he's too emotional. That's why he didn't shoot the little girl. Like he's a fucking Little Red Riding Hood. He's not a Chad Wolf like me. And then at the end of the movie, like, you know, this guy's wearing like the Wolf Brigade armor, and the guy's like, aren't you a human being? You're gonna shoot your best friend, man? And it's like, gah, 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 like no hesitation, like boo, 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 boo. It's so good. And that's another thing, like just like you know, it all goes back to the Wicked City conversation, where like the violence is not there to just make you go like, haha, goopy goblin gamer brain. It's like the horror of like seeing this guy get decimated, even though he's kind of the bad guy of the story, like because our main character is succumbing to his like wolf militaristic mentality. It's very sad. And all of that way that was executed, where like people are shooting at him and he's just motionless, like he's just a robot, like, you know, people are like, oh shit, blah, 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 and he's like, it's really good. I love that part. That's great. And there's probably some other parts in the vision. I really like when he has the dream of the girl, and he's like chasing her, and like the wolves are following him. There's a part where he gets to a gate, and the gate, she's like, you can't come through, you're not allowed. But the door opens anyways, and all the wolves go through and like eat her up. Like the guy himself, I think that's a really cool way of like expressing, like the dude is about to go through the door, and then he hesitates because he's like, wait, like, you know, because in his real life he's thinking like, if I interact with this person, then my wolf side like might cause her like conflict and strife, and it might like make her life worse, just like it did for like the little girl that I got killed. And so he like hesitates and he doesn't walk through the gate, but then all the wolves just walk through the gate like that were behind him, and he's like, oh shit. Yeah, so it's kind of like a representation of like, regardless of his human side, his wolf side is going to like overtake him regardless. And I love the way it's represented. And then there's like, it just cuts to a shot of him like with his wolves, like, and it's like snowing, and he's just sitting there like, it's so like gangster, it's so badass, but the sad music is playing. And that song, like the main song that it plays when that dream is happening, and just whenever cool shit's happening, it's like one song, and they play it like 3 times, but it's so good, and they use it so effectively. And it's always used whenever they do the Little Red Riding Hood shit, and I loved it. It was fantastic. The second time, you know, you were saying like when they talk about the Little Red Riding Hood stuff, it gets more interesting. And the second time, I started to really kind of notice that the entire movie, even when they're not like boom boom earth seeing it, it is kind of talking about the Little Red Riding Hood stuff, subtly. Like it's a part of the story, even if it's not like telling you directly. Even when it's like government officials talking to each other, it's, you know, like there's that scene where they're in like the junkyard, and like the government officials, they're talking about how public security wants to dissolve the Kerberos cops or whatever they're called, and the guy talks about like the dog breeding analogy, where he's like, you know, you can't have 2 dogs in the same kennel, but you can breed them and try to merge the best attributes of both of them, which is reflective of like our world today, you know, where like cops have like stronger artillery you know? Like it's a mix of Kerberos and a mix of like normal police, you know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so it's really cool, and I love their logic where it's like we need to restore peace and order. That's how we need to advocate for peace and order rather than like be like super oppressive and like hold people down in that way. Even though they're still gonna do that, just in like a more subtle way, you know, which is what's happening in our world today. I thought that was really thoughtful.
Right.
But yeah, I on the second viewing, I started to kind of perceive the entire movie as a really big like Little Red Riding Hood analogy. And when I kind of saw it through those lens the entire time, it was a lot more engaging and a lot more enjoyable. I was able to sit through it. This is one of those movies. This is like Ghost in the Shell. This is just like Ghost in the Shell and Akira, where like the first time I'm bored, and then like the next like 2 or 3 times I start to really understand it and I start to really like it, which is why I watched it a second time, because I felt like it was necessary. And yeah, that's why I liked it. Oh, I'm really glad I read this note. So during the training, they were talking about like how when Fuse fucked up like in the training regimen, they said something along the lines of like, if one person makes a mistake, it fucks up everything for everyone else, which is basically like the movie saying like, if this is happening to Fuse, like our main character, then it's reflective of the entire group, you know? And if he fucks up, then it like fucks up the entire concept of this Kerberos cops. So it's like the movie telling you conceptually the Kerberos cops like do not really work, because everybody is like a wolf and a human being, and that conflict is residing within all of them. So like they're all kind of having this conflict, and just because we're only seeing it to this main character, it's going to break the dynamic of the whole thing. Because they were talking about like, you know, when you're in the training grounds, you need to like be there for your teammates, and if one person isn't there, then it breaks the whole dynamic. And that's supposed to be like symbolic of how Fuse is kind of, you know, up in his head and he's not there, and it breaks the whole dynamic like in a more grander like scheme, not just in the training grounds, but like in the Rope Brigade as a whole. Yeah, but it don't matter because he turned to a wolf at the end. He commits to his wolf instinct. So,
and dude at the end just says, what did he say? He says, and the wolf ate a Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah. Banger. Yeah.
Throughout the movie, he kind of looked like Guts.
Yeah, kind of. I can see that. He has like the little hair like going down. Yeah, and he's got the broad like physique. He does look like Guts. Yeah, I agree. Maybe that's like intentional.
Berserk reference.
Yeah, shared universe. Oh my god, it's like Marvel. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna buy the Blu-ray. I'm gonna watch this in higher quality. God damn it, Crunchyroll. If only you couldn't rent this on anything either. That's what like pissed me off. I was like, oh my god, I can't even like spend money to watch this in like good quality. Fuck. So whenever I recommend things, I'm always gonna make sure that I can watch it in like a proper way before I recommend it. So yeah, that's all we got to say about Jin-Roh. Actually, I do have a little bit more to say, not about the movie, but about just the franchise in general. On IMDb, it lists 2 movies as like prequels to this one. They're 2 live action films, and they're actually directed by Mamoru Oshii and written by him. So it's called The Red Spectacles and Stray Dog, Kerberos, Panzer Cops, and the posters look fire, and they looked really cool. So I was like, okay, let me see if I can get these movies. So they're both on YouTube, and they're not legally available like anywhere else. So I watched The Red Spectacles, and it had that same vibe where it was like, it was boring, and I was like, oh, but then like I started to understand the symbolism and what it was saying underneath, and it had a fucking crazy ending. And it was in the same vein as Jin-Roh, where it's about a Kerberos cop and the psychology of like, you know, whether he wants to keep being a cop or not. And it was done in that super subtle, cool way. And I have to give it a couple more watches, but I might like it more than Jin-Roh the anime. It was very low budget, and I want to make that very clear if you ever choose to watch it. But I thought it was really good, and I bought the DVD on eBay, and I'm gonna watch it again. And the music in that one is better than in Jin-Roh. It's even better. It's really cool. It gets fucking crazy. And if you ever watched it, it would make for like a really interesting discussion, because you think Jin-Roh is symbolic. Oh boy, that shit goes insane.
Okay.
And then I didn't watch Stray Dog Kerberos Panzer Cop, but I will watch that, and I'll talk to you about it. But then I watched Illang, The Wolf Brigade, which is a South Korean 2017 or 2018 live action remake of Jin-Roh, The Wolf Brigade. And it's on Netflix, and it's directed by Kim Ji-woon. I think that's his name. And he's apparently a popular Korean director. I've never heard of him, but I watched that, and it was 2 out of 10. It was fucking terrible. It was like really bad. I could go on and on about it, but it was so bad. The ending is different in it too. The ending is not him killing the girl. Like, he's about to kill the girl, and then you know how this movie is like slow and subtle and cool, and like a lot of people probably went into it like, what the fuck? I wanted some action. Well, watch the live action version, because that's all it is. It's just a bunch of action. It's just a bunch of people fighting each other. At the end, the captain of the Wolf Brigade puts on the Wolf Brigade gear, and the main character is wearing Wolf Brigade gear, and then they have a fight at the end while they're both wearing the armor. It's so like it's like so Dragon Ball Evolution. It makes me sad. But the fight itself was kind of cool, so I gave it a 2 instead of a 1. Yeah. If you're curious, watch it at 2 times speed, if you want. Yeah, it's so bad. You know how the movie is like this movie, the animated one is like a constant analogy of like Little Red Riding Hood and the wolf, and like it's just really slow, and the whole time you're just supposed to be thinking about that. This movie, it doesn't do that. This movie is like the public security is trying to get the Kerberos cut. It's like a spy espionage thing the whole time. It's not even like the fun parts of the animated movie are just the entire live action movie stretched out to 2 hours for casuals.
This is what live actions do. They just take away all the subtlety, all the themes, messages, and just turn it into this action fest.
Yeah,
it's honestly disgusting, and I am not gonna watch it. It's shit like that. But I'm looking at the trailer, and the first comment this dude says, absolutely. He says, absolutely beautiful and amazing. I am very impressed with this live action adaptation. It even supersedes the original, in my opinion.
A lot of reviews are pretty positive for this movie, so I guess take that into account. Ali's got another one of his hot takes, so maybe I'm wrong, but I think it fucking sucks. So yeah, like, I don't know. It's got a 6 on IMDb, which is lower than the animated one, so maybe some people are on our side. But yeah.
This dude said the fact that Hollywood isn't creating this adaptation is probably going to stay true to the source material.
No. Have you seen the Ghost in the Shell live action?
No.
It's like the Ghost in the Shell live action, where people who are like normies will be like, yeah, it does have the same plot. And technically, when you break it down to like the fucking synopsis, yeah, it does have the same plot. But like, when it comes to the themes, and when it comes to like the pacing and what's really important, like and the tone, it's not the same at all. Yeah.
I didn't even bother like even thinking about the live action.
I watched it solely for the purpose of comparison, to talk about it on here. I just finished it like right before I got on. I watched it at 2x speed because I was tortured. I was like, oh my god, this is so bad. But yeah, I think that's enough Jin-Roh for one session. I love this movie, and I'm excited to watch it many more times to come. 7 out of 10. It's closer to an 8 than it is to a 6.
Yeah, I also gave it a 7.
Nice. All right, let me stop the recording and then we'll continue. All right. Now for the last film of the night, Jujutsu Kaisen 0. I saw this twice, and bottom line, I really liked it. I thought it was fucking cool. It's the prequel. It's about the Okatsu boy that they talk about in the anime, and it's about him going to Jujutsu High, meeting the people, and it's about Geto, the main antagonist, the bad guy of the movie, and ultimately the bad guy in the show. And we didn't really get development on either of them, so it's basically just the development on the kid and development on the guy, and then everything else is literally like everything from the show, squished into a movie setting. But the reason why it works for me is because those elements are juxtaposed to the bad guy and the main character. So they do a lot of like re-explaining who the characters are, but the re-explaining of who the characters are is met with the reaction of like this new character that you're interested in when you're watching the movie. So it worked really well for me. It was very fan servicey. It was very like, look, your character's gonna do the move and they're gonna like fucking attack this guy. When Toto popped up, or what's his name? I think that's his name, Toto. Yeah, when he popped up, it made me happy. And overall, I enjoyed it, and I have positive things to say. What did you think about it?
Honestly, I think they dropped the ball on this one.
Interesting. Would you?
I feel like this. I don't feel like this story is movie worthy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's enough. I just don't think it's. This would be fine in episode format.
Mm.
I just don't. Or like even what do they call like spinoffs?
OVAs.
OVAs, like this would be like a fine OVA if you ask me.
Right.
But
Mm-hmm.
I came into this expecting like I knew like Itadori wasn't gonna be in it.
Right.
I like the last 4 times I went to a theater to watch an anime movie was Demon Slayer,
mm-hmm.
My Hero second one, Hero Risings, the Broly movie,
mm-hmm.
and Battle of Gods.
Mm-hmm.
Those 4 movies are fucking amazing. And like the 5th one, Jujutsu Kaisen, is just especially like Demon Slayer. Like I left the Demon Slayer theater like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I left the theater like, oh my god, I can't fucking wait for season 2.
Right.
Like I'm as excited for season 2 JJK before watching this movie. Like this didn't really hype me up for season 2.
Right.
Whereas like Demon Slayer was like, oh my god, season 2, like the show's like it's gonna go crazy, you know?
Yeah.
And I left the theater like that shit was so fire. Like and like you went to Dragon Ball ones like Broly's like Broly's like, oh my god, Broly, like I can't wait to see the show. And then like the Battle of Gods, like Dragon Ball after 18 years of nothing. Now
I know. Yeah.
And then even I don't like My Hero, but even the My Hero movie at the end where it's just like it's so like
yeah.
It's like he gets the one for all right.
Yep. Yeah.
Then they do that scene. It's like it's so like epic. It's so grand. But this movie, like I find it funny. Mm-hmm. I do like the high school students. I just feel like the MC himself and what happened in this movie wasn't enough
to warrant a theatrical worldwide release.
Yeah, like I feel like these can just be like 5 episodes,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll be like the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I was expecting something so grand. That's what I expect from these anime movies that hit theaters.
Yeah.
It's like something crazy that happened. Even though like My Hero, like even if that shit's not canon, like the shit that happened in that movie was like so crazy to me.
Yeah.
Right. So, I don't know. When I just compare it to like my last time I went to like a theater to watch an anime movie, I was like kind of let down. I'm just being honest because you already know how big of a JJK fan I am. I talk highly of the anime.
Yeah.
I was so ready to go in there and be like mind blown, but I just wasn't.
Gotcha. Interesting. I am surprised to hear you say that, being how big of a JJK fan, as you said. And you know, if anything, I should be the one saying negative things because I was the one being like a little not into Jujutsu Kaisen based on our conversation. But the more I consume it, the more I think about it, the more I begin to like it. You know, you said that this movie didn't have you like feeling any type of way or not looking forward to the next season. But the way I see it, like this movie is this main character who is like basically like the second strongest character in the show, like next to Gojo. And
is he still after he loses his girl?
Yeah, because the girl's power was his power. He projected his power
he's
onto
part of
her.
the family. Yeah.
So it is him. So he's like the second strongest character in the show, and he's gonna come in season 2. And the main bad guy is already in the show, and he's gonna play like a major part. And now with this development, I'm gonna be more interested to see that main bad guy. And I think his development was fantastic. I didn't even know he was Gojo's like friend up until watching the movie. To compare with your impression of the film, the reason why this movie did give me like the same reaction that I got to like all the other anime movies I watched, like, you know, you talk about Dragon Ball Super Broly, My Hero, I came out of this movie feeling the same way that I felt with those movies because of those two things, because of those two characters, which are, I think, the two main selling points of the movie, because they are like the only new things there, and that's the only new shit compared to everything else. And that's
like, don't get me wrong, I think the MC was interesting, and I am excited to see him in the future. But I just don't feel like it was just like his arc was enough to go to theaters, you know, like
the movie was mostly a fan service, like look at the characters fight a bunch of bad guys. To me, it was very large scale and epic because of like the demon attack that he put on the thing. I know that, like, you know, it didn't show people like dying in the streets or anything, but when you talk about scale, that's kind of how I see it, where it's like nothing to that level even happens like in the show, you know. But I understand what you're saying still.
At the same time, like the bad guy, which is super interesting because he's in the show. Yeah. And in the show, he has a scar. That's the first thing I realized. Like, oh, he doesn't have the scar. He's gonna get the scar from the movie. Yeah. But the thing is, I'm thinking like, this dude is such like a major threat, and this whole thing is like huge. All the fucking JJK teachers had to pull up, right? And it's like, why not kill him? If he's doing shit like this, why not finish him off? I hope there's a good answer in the show in the future.
Well, I feel like the movie justifies that because Gojo is his best friend, and he doesn't want to kill him because of that. And I really like that.
To me, that's lame.
Okay.
If someone's doing some like outlandish shit like this, and it's like, see, with Batman is different. Batman is different, bro. Like, if this dude's just doing outlandish shit, like threatening all like your friends, all the people you work with, and you're just like, I'll give you a little cut on your forehead. I saw that, I was like, that's not for me. That shit does not work for me. Like,
well, Gojo, he wasn't gonna kill any of like the Jujutsu sorcerers. That's why he didn't kill like any of the kids, like when Gojo sent them. So in defense of that specifically, like he's not planning to like kill any of those guys because of his ideology, where Jujutsu sorcerers are above humans or whatever. But your main point still stands. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I get that. Like, Gojo knew he wasn't going to kill them, but at the same time, it's like, dude, like, if Luffy just does the same thing again, but now he has all those villains backed up with him, he can do the same thing, like, next week.
Right.
And what are you going to do now? Like, I think, I know a little piece of what's going to happen in the future. I got spoiled, like, a little piece.
Yeah.
And I just think, like it's kind of like Gojo, like, fucking, like, kill this dude, bro. Like, he's such a threat. Like, you know how strong he is. Like, those kids got bodied. Like, think like body. And it took a fucking the second strongest dude in the show to, like, blow off an arm, you know?
Yeah.
This dude's a fucking threat. Like, let's handle him. But it's like, nah, you're my best friend.
Right.
It's not like, but the thing is with Batman, like, Batman does the same thing with Joker.
Right.
It's like that shit with Batman is so established into Batman's character. It's like understandable. With Gojo, like, this is what I'm saying. Hopefully, like, this is explained in his character in future seasons, you know? Because right now, I didn't fuck with it.
I feel you. The way I interpreted it, I felt like the movie was development for Gojo in the sense that, like, he is the strongest character in the show, and basically whatever he wants, like, happens. He goes to the council. He's like, Okatsu's joining the school, and it's like, he's a danger to society, and he's like, oh yeah, you want me to fucking show you who's a real danger to society? So I think that it's very interesting for this character to be so powerful to the extent where he can basically dictate anything. He can kill the main bad guy whenever he wants. He can make sure that, like, you know, people, like, are always safe from Jujutsu, like, stuff, and da-da-da-da-da. And I think it's really interesting for our main mentor character to have the power to kill the bad guy, but not kill the bad guy because of his, like, kind-hearted emotions. And they talk about that in the movie. There's, like, a really good line where Geto says, like, are you the strongest because you're Gojo Satoru, or are you Gojo Satoru because you're the strongest? So he's basically saying, like, are you as nice and as laid back and as cool and chill and happy and loving and caring as you are because you have the luxury to be that way because of your power? Or does your power stem from your loving and caringness? You know? So it's interesting because it's like, it's asking, like Goku?
Yeah.
Does,
like, his power comes from, like, his kindness. Yeah. That's why he's like, Vegeta will never beat him.
Yeah. Yeah. But you don't even really know that with Gojo, because you don't know how he got his powers. You don't know. And that's the question. And I felt like the movie was commentating on his sense of morality and like how far he will go to do the right thing, like, regardless of his emotions and feelings and, like, his stuff. Because it's interesting that he can do whatever he wants and he does anything that's in his best interest. So when he has the power to do something to save people, even if it's not in his best interest, is he going to be selfish and not do that? Or is he going to, like, be selfless and kill the bad guy? And he's been selfish the entire show. So for him to be selfless, for him to be selfish again is like, it's like the audience going like, oh, Gojo, I love you for being as selfish as you are and for being the character that you are. That's why I love you in the first place. That's why I connected with you in the show. And to see you be that way with this character is going to fuck up a lot of things for a lot of people in the future. You know? So I completely understand where you're coming from, and that's completely valid what you're feeling. But if I had to give my rebuttal, that's my rebuttal to what you're saying.
Listen, I hope there's an explanation, because like, I have a friend named Jesse.
Yeah.
He's not really a Batman guy, but he saw Under the Red Hood and saw, like, he's like, why doesn't Batman just kill the Joker? But,
what? He literally, like, explains it in detail at the end of that movie.
I don't know, and he's still, like, after me, like, yo, Manny, why doesn't Batman kill the Joker?
Right.
And I'm like, well, you didn't watch the movie too. You know, so, like, I'm hoping it's just 'cause, like I know a bit about what's gonna happen, and like when this shit happens,
Right.
I just want to see how Gojo fucking reacts.
Okay.
It will like be like, what the fuck, bro?
So that you're saying the bad guy does some like super evil shit, and he only gets to do that super evil shit at the result of Gojo letting him live.
That's not what I'm saying. Because I don't know, like, I only know a tiny bit. Because I know, like, what's going to happen with Gojo.
Okay.
I don't know who does it, but I know what happens with him. And it's like, when this shit happens, I'm going to be like, Gojo, like, it's kind of your fault. You know?
Right. Because Geto is going to do something to him in the future? You can tell me. I'm okay with knowing whatever it is.
I'm not spoiling.
All right. That's okay.
It's just I just want to see. I just want to see how he reacts to like when major threats, like a major threat comes by.
Right.
I want to see just how he handles it.
Well, to reiterate with the Batman analogy that you just brought up, Batman can kill the Joker at any time because the Joker is a menace and he is a threat and he is causing strife amongst the Gotham citizens. And Joker goes so far as to kill Robin, and that's when Batman, that's when that's the whole point of Under the Red Hood. Like you went as far as killing like my kind of surrogate son. Should I kill you because you have gone this far and you are doing these bad things, or should I uphold my ideals and not kill you? And then he chooses to not kill him, and that's kind of what the movie is about. And I feel like that's kind of what this movie is about with
that's
Gojo.
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's why I made the analogy. Like, it just like I want this how he just handled this situation. I want to see if this is like explained within his character. Yeah, he's super OP. I can kill you whenever he wants. But when some major shit like this happens again, it's not like Batman is gonna be like, Joker killed Robin. Batman's like, I'm not gonna kill you, but like Batman still knows he's a threat. He's not gonna be like. It's because I know, like, it's weird, but I just need like an explanation why Gojo just finish this dude off. Right. Because they're friends. Because they're best friends isn't enough for me. Like, if that dude can like easily like body like a bunch of JJK soldiers like single handedly, like I want to see what's gonna happen in the future. Yeah. I'm gonna say this shit. I'm not fucking spoil it. I'm not fucking.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I appreciate the honesty.
I just like how like it's explained within Batman's character of why he doesn't do this. With Gojo, it's just because they're best friends. And that for me, that's not. That's not like enough.
I see. I also think.
Hold on. This whole thing pisses me off. Is because it's a movie. I just make this into like 5 episodes. Like I don't feel like this movie needed. This story didn't need movie animation, a movie budget. Just make 5 episodes with the same like animation budget you had with the anime. It'll be the same thing. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's because my fault because I expect grand shit from anime theaters. Right. But that's just my experience with them,
Yeah. What was I gonna say?
Damn. I literally left the theater like
fuck. Okay. I felt like oh shit. I felt like the pacing really worked for a movie though. I don't like with My Hero, I genuinely question like, would this work better if it was like 5 episodes long? With this one, I wasn't like bored. I was very engaged throughout. So I thought it worked well as like a 2-hour film. And I think that's why, at least for me, I kind of walked out of it like, yeah, it wasn't like the craziest bombastic, the world's going to explode shit like in the world. But I'm okay with it because it was paced well and it kind of fit. It justified itself for me because of how well executed it was and its pacing and stuff.
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, when it comes to like pacing, like with the My Hero thing, that's not canon, right? So.
No, I was talking about Demon Slayer. I'm sorry if I said My Hero. I meant the Demon Slayer movie. Like, my main criticism is that dream section. Maybe if that was in like a show format, I'd be able to accept it more. You know, that's
the thing was the Demon Slayer. I feel like that arc was so short that was movie worthy.
Yeah,
and it's just the shit that happened in that arc was movie worthy. I feel like this JJK shit would work perfectly as an anime, like 5 episodes. Like,
yeah,
even like the first hour
mm-hmm.
is so like it's just like an anime.
Yeah, they're just like talking.
They're doing like random missions.
Yeah,
and jokes,
character development. That's really all it is.
I just feel like when I was watching, I was like, this can just be an anime. I was kind of getting frustrated because like I just know
you were waiting for something to happen, and then you realized nothing was going to happen.
Yeah, I just knew nothing was gonna happen. Like, and don't get me wrong. Like the shit that happened with the MC was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that. I'm excited to see him in the future, but I'm gonna say the same. I just don't feel like it was enough.
That's completely fair.
Whereas like I said before, like the Demon Slayer movie, the Demon Slayer especially, because like the Demon Slayer establishes so many things. Like, I got this from you. Like, it was like the Demon Slayer movie lets you know that it's not afraid to kill Hashiras like that, right? Because you know how OP the demons are. And I never thought about it like that, but once you said that, I was like, damn, that really does. And then when you watch season 2, it's like, oh shit, this dude might die, right?
Yeah.
And like, that itself is like it adds so much like weight to the story. And like this is in Dragon Ball Z, like, you know, like Beerus himself pulling up is enough to the story. Like,
right,
Broly himself is enough to make a movie. Right. I feel like the MC in JJK isn't enough to make a movie.
Yeah,
that's hard.
That's completely valid. That makes a lot of sense. Those comparisons, that's explained very well. I understand where you're coming from. I don't want to sound like I'm grasping at straws or anything, but I'm going to expand on the Gojo thing again. For me, like, one thing that I've always perceived this ever since you said it, like, I got this from you. Like, people in Jujutsu Kaisen are just like normal people, kind of. Like, I now see Gojo as like the cool teacher that understands the kids. And because he has the power to override like the principal and like the council and stuff, he will go out of his way to be a teacher still and do his job because he knows that he needs to teach people about Jujutsu sorcery. But he's going to be the cool, chill teacher, and he's going to let the kids do what they need to do, and he's going to finesse for them like in the system if he needs to. And that really resonates with me because that's a real, genuine human thing that I resonated with in high school because I had teachers like Gojo when I was in high school, you know? So that's why I like his character. I feel like the psychology of his character, like there's a line in the movie where he's like, you know, it's a very passive line, but he's like, no one's allowed to take youth away from young people. And I love that because that's, you know, I've said it many times when I talk about like other movies like Kaguya and Grave of the Fireflies. I hate when people do that in those movies. And Gojo is like the polar opposite of that. So I love him. He's awesome.
Yeah, and Gojo is amazing. He's very unique when it comes to, especially in this genre, because usually like the MC doesn't have someone so like OP by their side, right?
Yeah.
And even like, I'm not sure you can really think of like, the MC doesn't really have like a Gojo type OP, like the best in the world, strongest, to just like someone you can just fall back on, kind of, right? He and that whole you thing is true. Like he's very unique. There's like no one like him in any like shonen.
Yeah, and I
love how the show like works around him too.
Me too.
It's like it makes me it reminds me of part 4 of JoJo where like where Kira had to work around
Jotaro.
Zoroardo. He was like, I can't get too close. Like, you know, that's the OP guy.
Yeah.
I have to work around, like how like the council and the bad guys have to work around Gojo because he's that guy. I love that.
Yeah, and I think Gojo is kind of the heart of like the show's power scaling. Like, you know, everything has to build around him because he's the strongest one. And it's not just the power scaling. It's not just how they approach like the fights or their plan, like the evil bad guys. It's also the psychology of the character, right? If, you know, how are you going to justify Gojo not just one-shotting the main bad guy? And that's a question that, you know, is posed when you watch the show. And I feel like this movie answers that important question. I really liked when Gojo like had his finger like this and he could like shoot him right there and he just like put his hand down. That resonated with me a lot. And in the final, you can even see like, you know, he is an evil, like kind of Frieza level, like racist, like piece of shit where he's like, these fucking monkeys, like, you know, but I love in his final scene when his arm is like removed and Gojo's like standing there and Gojo's like, I knew you wouldn't kill Jujutsu sorcerers, like, you know, and the reason why Gojo like still loves him and kind of respects him is because Gojo is ostracized for having his perspective and doing things the way that he likes to do them. So there's a part of him that feels like it would be hypocritical to kill his friend who is doing things his way and has his own way of seeing the world. He's not like, he is cartoonishly evil, but in the flashback they show, he like explains to him like, dude, this is the way I see things and I'm not the strongest. So I'm just going to do the best at what I do. And I'm sorry if you disagree, but this is what I'm going to do. And Gojo, he's like, I have a choice. Like, should I stand by my ideals or should I let him be his own person? Like I let myself be my own person. I have the freedom to do what I do because I'm the strongest, but he doesn't. Am I really about to take that away from him because I'm the strongest? I think that's really thoughtful and kind of cool. I don't know if I explained it too well, but that's probably the last thing I'll have to say about that.
Well, when he does the same shit again and Gojo's not there, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Literally, like,
yeah.
When Gojo's not there, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
That to me, that overrides any like any morality thing. It's like, bro,
yeah,
you're gonna do the same shit again, and if I'm not here, bro, humanity's fucked.
Right.
Everyone's dead. Like, no one in the JJK staff is about to beat you, bro. So
that's true.
They can barely beat his fucking demons he summons. How they can just beat him, you know?
But I'm excited to see that moment. Like, I know that that's gonna come, and he's gonna have to pose that question once again because you know, he's not Batman. Like he doesn't have like a rigid ideal where it's like, I'm never gonna kill people. It was like for that one moment of time. So like if the opportunity presented itself again, would he do it? Like you don't know. And there's that part at the end of the movie where he says something to Geto, but his dialogue is cut out. So you don't know what he says, but then Geto responds like lay a few curses on me before I go. So I think what he said was like, yo, next time I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like don't do this again. I gave you chances. That's at least what I thought he said. So that's another thing. Yeah, that's what I have to say about that. I like the movie, and I think everything that you're saying is valid, but you know, these are my defenses for even though I agree with like the next time it's like, you better do something. I feel like the movie is self-aware of that, and it acknowledged that in that way. But I really like everything you're saying, and you explained all of that like very well. That's very valid. A lot of people probably feel the same way you feel.
I don't think a lot of people feel the way I feel.
No, they're just being silenced by like all the positive like reviews. You know how it is. Like people just don't have the ability to express themselves. You know, no one.
Cowboy is a huge JJK fan. Like, I just don't know like what's so like great about this movie. Mm-hmm. I really don't know. Like, even like if you came in for the battles, it's like even the final battle.
Yeah.
It's just
it's
my
okay.
strongest attack, your strongest attack. Boom. It's
yeah.
It's not even hyped up like Kamehameha versus fucking Vegeta shit. It's not even just. It's just like, give me your power. And then like his arm's blown off. You know, it's like even that shit was lame as shit to me. I was like, damn, the fight's over already, bro. You didn't even get to see the girl fight this dude, even though she got body. Like,
Maki?
God, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't get to see that. I
And
wonder how that would
fucking
have been.
the dude, the clapping dude that everyone likes, he pulled up like 2 seconds. I mean, it's cool to see him.
Yeah, he was
But,
only there for fan service. He wasn't part of the story. Yeah.
and even the dude with the glasses,
Hmm.
the suit, white suit on, seeing him was dope too.
Yeah, he probably had like the best animated part of the whole movie when he fucking sliced that giant thing in half. I was like, oh my God. One thing I have to say about this movie, I criticize the animation in the show. This movie is so much better than the show. Like I can confidently say that the animation is on par with like Attack on Titan. Like it looks as good. And the show is still fine and I'll look forward to the show even if it looks like season 1. But I like that this movie had a high level of production quality. And Jujutsu doesn't look like other things too, you know? So I want the guy who makes Jujutsu and the guy who has that art style and like Studio Mappa or whatever, I want to see that art style with this level budget more. And this movie just gave me that, which I was very happy for. Yeah. But,
yeah. The crowd laughed when he fucking made out with the girl.
Yes. Yeah. No, they didn't laugh, but like everyone was like, whoa, that's sus, nigga. So I had a pretty coon crowd. Yeah.
My crowd, they were laughing.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
I wasn't too bothered by it. I was, I talked about last time the thing with the Riddler and Batman, and
it took me out of it.
Yeah, it's understandable.
Like, if he just been like, that's cool, but he was like, chill, bro.
Yeah, it's goofy. Mm-hmm.
If it was just a little quick, that would have been cute. Like,
right.
That he's like really loves her. That he's looking at cases of the ugly monster.
Yeah.
But him just. Even like the movie was aware that it was so like crazy they blacked it out.
Yeah.
Like,
I know it's because it would be weird.
That shit took me out.
Yeah, that's completely fair. I understand. Yeah, I was thinking about the Riddler thing that we were talking about last time, and I think at the end of the day, it kind of just boils down to your sense of humor, and it's very subjective based on each individual. Like I find the Riddler thing funny. You find that thing funny. I can look at this and I can take it seriously. Like, I can look at the Batman thing and I kind of don't take it seriously. I look at the Pompoko thing where they're like getting their balls smacked and I can't take that seriously. But, there are probably other moments in other movies like, I was thinking of like the Christopher Nolan movies, like Batman's voice is funny in those movies. He's like, oh, are you going? But I still kind of take them seriously. Like I'm able to watch it. So it's dependent on the individual. It varies with each person. So, yeah, that's completely valid. A lot of people in my theater like giggled at that one. Did you like when the panda talked about the big boobs and small boobs? Did you remember that part?
I didn't like that.
You didn't like that? No? You didn't like that they brought the joke back?
Because I don't think the panda does that in the anime.
No, he doesn't do that in the anime. No.
And in the anime, it's the clapping dudes. Like, that's his stick. And they just gave the stick to this dude. I was like, I thought that was like ass. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
They just needed to put a boob joke and that made the panda guy say it. Like, that was so out of character. I thought that was retarded.
Yeah.
Like, everyone was laughing. I was not laughing. That shit was not cool.
They ruined the panda.
If they really watch a boob joke and make the fucking clap dude say some funny shit real quick, then it would be gone. Yeah.
That's fair. I kind of thought he said it because he was friends with the clap dude and he said it based on that guy. That was at least how I interpreted it. Because,
maybe if he said an anime, I would have been cool with it.
Yeah. All right.
But he doesn't fucking say it one time. Like,
yeah.
He doesn't like. That's not even like anything near he would say in the show. That's like kind of too
That's
me
true.
Off. Like he wouldn't say anything like that in the show. Then him to big titties, small titties. I was like, well, what is this guy talking about?
That's also valid. That's valid. Were there any parts that stood out to you?
Imagine if like Goku said some Master Roshi shit. It's like, come on, bro. Or imagine like Piccolo said some Master Roshi shit. Like, what are you doing, bro? That's not what you're doing.
Yeah. Sometimes there are characters that do act out of character, and it's funny that they're acting out of character. I'm not defending the panda thing, saying that that's that,
Right.
but there are times where Piccolo will say something or do something that like he doesn't usually do. It's like I feel like Piccolo sometimes in some situation might say like a Roshi kind of thing, but the joke is that he's saying a Roshi kind of thing.
A Roshi thing?
Well, that's just an example. He probably hasn't said a Roshi level thing, but you know, like in Dragon Ball Fighters when he's like volley, like Piccolo doesn't ever like do stuff like that, you know. And it's funny that like Piccolo's doing something that he doesn't usually
That's
do.
a video game. That doesn't count.
Okay, fine. You don't think he?
Piccolo's like Batman. He doesn't say corny shit.
That's true.
Watch your turn. Like the joke is that he's like that.
Yeah. Like when wasn't there an episode where like Piccolo had to get like a driver's license, or was that him? You know, yeah, okay. So it's kind of like that. But it doesn't matter because that doesn't relate to the panda thing.
Though.
I know it is different. Yeah.
That's funny though.
Mm-hmm.
That is funny.
So, was there any other complaints or positives for the movie?
Do you see the post credit shit?
Yeah, I don't know what to derive from that.
But I feel like
so confusing.
I feel like, you know, I feel like if I was making a movie, I'd put something like worthwhile, you know.
In the end credits,
Yeah,
it felt like that end.
Credits.
It felt like that end credits would only matter to people that read the manga and know the significance of the black guy and seeing like all those three together. Because I feel like it makes no sense now, but it'll make sense later. Like, why does this matter?
They should have showed like Itadori or something. Like.
I know, right? I thought they were gonna do that. I thought they were gonna show like the girl and broccoli hair boy, whatever his name is. But yeah, they didn't.
They should have showed like Itadori as a kid or something.
Yeah. Well, this was like a year before, so he's still like.
Should have showed him. Like,
mm-hmm.
Like while the whole crazy shit's going on outside, he's like across the street, like what the fuck?
I was also thinking that
that would have been good.
It would have been good. I was also thinking like, how are all these demons causing all this mayhem and like all this shit's happening, but no one is conscious of this? Like, I know no one can see the curses, but people can still see the Jujutsu sorcerers. Like, is it just because it's nighttime and no one's outside, or like, I don't know.
It was fucking Christmas Eve. I guess no one's outside.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, that's good justification. I have to say, Jujutsu Kaisen does this where they like will put like the screen will go black and it'll show text and it'll be like, you know, January 24th, Itadori got fucked up the ass by a special grade demon. And, you know, I really liked that they did that in this. It gave everything a lot of impact. Like December 24th, Rika gets summoned for the second time, like completely. It made the scenes cooler because it's like, oh, they felt the need to log this because it was so important. So that's just a little thing that I thought was cool.
I don't know if it's just me, but I kind of got annoyed when they kept showing the girl as a kid, like.
Yeah.
That shit was annoying. Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
We didn't need to see that flashback like 4 times.
That's true. I understand. It's we're gonna get married. Yeah, I think for me it worked because every single time they showed it, you needed to kind of. I can't believe I'm saying this because I usually am on your side where like I'm criticizing that exact same thing. What?
Don't say something stupid.
I'm not. I'm just gonna say that it didn't bother me. I don't really have like a articulate defense.
No, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if I watched it in sub, it wouldn't annoy me.
You didn't watch it subbed? Really?
I watched it dubbed, sadly.
Did you watch the show dubbed?
I watched the show subbed.
Interesting. You think the dub ruined that specific moment, or like
It's
the movie?
It's like Ride Your Wave, like.
right. Yeah, like yeah.
I don't know. Like, I feel like they keep adding these flashbacks because the crowd is retarded. Like, I remember the flashback.
Mm-hmm.
You showed me some one time, I remember the flashback.
Right.
It's like the same thing with Naruto. I know Naruto had no friends.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's completely valid.
I feel like
yeah.
I feel like when they showed the flashback, it was too like quick in between. It would be like they showed it for the first time in school, then like it felt like really quick. They'll show it again, and then he's at the hospital. They showed it again, and then they showed it one more time, and it was like,
yeah.
I kind of like I got it.
Yeah,
I got it.
That's fair. I don't like when movies are like on the nose and lack subtlety. So that makes sense. I don't know why it didn't bother me this time. It usually does. Maybe it will on the next time.
Maybe it's because the dub does do shit like that.
It does, so. Yeah. It does for me as well.
So, I'm gonna just chalk it up to the dub.
Gotcha. I'm going to peruse my notes, but is there anything else that you want to say? Because I think even though I didn't get to say like a bunch of stuff, I'll probably say like little things that I wrote down in my notes. But anything else that you got?
Itadori not being in the movie for 1 second is a crime.
Really? Where a lot of people were expecting him to be in the movie. You just mean like as an end credits or something?
Something like I don't want him to be in a movie more than like 2 seconds, you know.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, hey, Itadori. It's like, hey, is Itadori?
Yeah.
I like it like that.
Yeah. Me too.
It's like seeing Bardock in Broly. It's like, yo, it's Bardock.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess that's different though, because like
he's part of the story. Yeah.
But it's like, oh, it's Raditz. You saw Raditz in the movie.
Yeah, I know. It would have been.
You saw the Dragon Ball does fan service the best. No one does it better than Dragon Ball. They showed Dodoria, Zarbon, the Ginyu Raditz, Gina, Bardock, Kid Vegeta, King Vegeta.
Yeah, I know. The Dragon Ball Super Broly movie is still the best anime tie-in movie. Like a movie that's tied into like a popular shonen anime. It's still the best one, in my opinion.
I don't know. Battle of Gods was like
really good.
Battle of Gods blew me away. Like I left the theater like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Dragon Ball's back, you know? And it came back and it was like they had it Beerus and Whis.
Yeah. I know.
And those two are so goated, you know?
I know. It's so
imagine if that
scary.
movie was ass.
I know. You're playing with fire when you add those characters to Dragon Ball because of their power and because like if they're gonna be main characters, like they better be good. Like I better be wanting to see them as much as. But Beerus and Whis are like I want to see them as much as Vegeta and Piccolo. Like they're part of the main cast.
Yeah, and you know that movie like since like Dragon Ball like nothing came out for 17 years, and you see like Beerus like 2-shot Super Saiyan 3 Goku, you just like
yeah.
It's like, oh my god, like it doesn't get better than Super Saiyan 3 Goku, right?
Shut up, nigga. Boom. That's yeah, you're absolutely right.
Then he slaps Bomba. Imagine if a shitty character slapped Bomba. That would be outrageous, you know. But since it's a good character, it's like okay.
Yeah, dude. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Oh,
yeah. Dragon Ball is still the best. Nothing tops that.
Yeah, it is the best.
It is. There's a lot of Dragon Ball. Have you seen all the Dragon Ball movies?
Damn near, yeah.
Really? I haven't seen like.
Oh, they're so good, bro.
Really? Fuck.
They're so good. Like the Cooler movie, like.
I've never seen the Cooler movie.
The fucking the Super Saiyan 4 movie.
Yeah.
The Gogeta movie. With.
Janemba.
Janemba, like that movie's so fucking goated, dude.
Yeah, I need to watch it again.
And like, we just talking about fan service, like the way that the Broly movie fan service that movie with the
magic,
like that's fan service, like
done well.
And I just remembered like to something similar to like the JJK thing and Itadori not being in it is like the Naruto movie, the last Naruto movie. not the last one, like Naruto, the last movie.
Yeah.
And when like Sasuke's not in it, and then Sasuke pulls it for 1 second, you're like, yo, Sasuke. To me, it's like, I think shit like that's cool.
Yeah, me too.
You saw Sasuke for 1 second,
1
and
second.
that's all you needed.
Yeah,
that's all you needed, bro.
Mm-hmm. I know they sold so many toys of that one fucking shot where he's like wearing his fit. Yeah, I know.
That fit is so cool.
Yeah, one whole character in fucking Storm, and he's gonna be broken the whole game.
Yeah, he was insane in the game.
Yeah.
Dude, that Storm game is so much fun.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna peruse my notes very quickly, and then we'll wrap up this Jujutsu Kaisen talk.
Hey, one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
I'm not gonna lie. After watching Demon Slayer season 2,
yeah,
I can't tell which show is better between JJK and Demon Slayer.
Okay.
Season 2 of Demon Slayer was like
really good. Yeah.
And it was so like it's so hyped, like the ending, like with the dude.
Yeah.
With the demon meetings, just all the info we learned about the demons, them like killing like 14 Ashras.
Yeah.
Them being alive for hundreds of years, like the first time a demon's been killed, or upper demon is like
right. It's written very well to hype up what's to come and like the certain situation. Yeah, Demon Slayer was good.
I can confidently say JJK is better, but I can say JJK season 1 is better than Demon Slayer season 1.
Yeah, that's completely fair. I guess it's really tough because as something progresses, it could get worse or better, and it's really a shot in the dark. Like, I don't know if Demon Slayer's gonna get worse or if Jujutsu Kaisen's gonna get worse or better, you know?
And the way Demon Slayer's going now is definitely not gonna get worse.
Well,
it's definitely gonna get worse.
Yeah, hopefully. It's written so well.
I was at because the movie theater is connected to a mall. I went to Barnes and Noble, and I really looked for Demon Slayer. I was like, "Where's Demon Slayer?" I found I found the same exact arc where the season 2 left off, with Akaza being there in the demon meeting. Yeah. So I know I was reading it, and I was like, "This is so fucking fire!" I'm like, I had to close. I closed it. I saw like 2 different upper demons pull up, and then like I was like, "No, I gotta see."
Dude, that's so exciting. Oh my god. Okay, that's why you have confidence. To me, these shonen shows, even Demon Slayer and Jujutsu, are hanging on a thread. Like they can. I think these shows are very hard to do right, and they do right so well that I think people get this confidence. Like, oh my god, this is gonna be the show. This is it. And then and then a season comes out and it's like, what's this show called again? Jewish Kaisen? So
that's what happened to My Hero.
Exactly. That's what happened to My Hero.
But for me personally, My Hero was never on this level.
That's true. That's fair.
I think it'll be hard for JJK and Demon Slayer to fail.
Yeah.
Especially after what I was reading.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I'm excited for both of them indeed.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let you look at your notes.
Yeah. Let's see. I think it's interesting that, I said that the show was like I said that the movie was like the show condensed into movie form, because basically the story of the main character, where like the arc that he has to go through, where he's using too much of his power and he has to kind of control his power, really is compelling to me. And Itadori's case, he's too wild, he's too much of a hot boy, and he's like bah, 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 and he's like, hey, slow down, bro. And like, he's using the cursed energy represents negative emotions, it represents anger, it represents frustration. Itadori was going a little too wild with it, right? But with this character is not, he's motivated by like his depression. His sadness is his negative emotion. That's why he's got the bags under his eyes, and like the strongness of this character represents like his anguish and like suffering. And I think it's really cool that he basically has the same story as Itadori, where he has to hold back and control the girl and like try to overcome his personal issues. but his arc is like the depression cursed energy, and Itadori is like, I got to stop going wild cursed energy. I think that's really interesting, and I think it's going to be really cool when these two characters meet, who are kind of the same but very different in that way. I also and that was just one thing.
Yeah, one thing I like in the movie where they said like demons usually hang around here, like places of sadness, like school, hospitals, and shit like that. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, and I was like, yeah, that's totally fair.
Yeah.
Even though school can be fun for people, it can be hell for others.
Yeah.
And hospitals are just generally sad. So.
Yeah, they said that in the show as well, and that brings me to another thing that I'm glad I remembered to mention. I feel like if you haven't seen the show and you want to watch this movie, like you want to start with the movie, I think you can. I don't think that there's anything that the show tells you that the movie doesn't tell you that you need to know.
Right.
I really like that. I think it's cool because a lot of people, I saw the movie and I was like talking about it, people like, oh, don't spoil it. And I'm like, bro, did you watch the show? And they're like, no, I didn't finish it yet. I'm like, you can go watch it. Like it doesn't really matter. You don't need to know any of the characters. Like the movie literally explains everything that you need to know, like through the show. Like from the show, like in this, they literally explain like everybody's abilities and backstories and like how the stuff works again. But it's justified because they're telling it to this new character. It's not just for the audience, it's also for the character. So I thought that was really cool. And I like that I can tell people like, hey, go see the movie, even if you haven't seen the show. I like that. I also think that Jujutsu Kaisen conceptually is supposed to be kind of rooted in like horror a little bit. It's kind of supposed to be like, it's supposed to have like a scary vibe. It might not be actually scary, but it's supposed to be like eerie and like, they're supposed to be like ghosts. That's who they're fighting. And it worked so much better, that aesthetic in the movie, because of the high level of animation than the show. Like the way they draw the demons have different line work and color palette to the main characters. And because of that, they feel very like out of place in this setting, which gives them this like ghostly feeling. And when they first met those like demons that were like at the school and they were like, do you want to fit inside me? Like, I don't know how it sounded in the dub, but in the sub, like it was so scary and like cool. And the animation was like really good. And I loved it. I like that kind of shit. I thought I like the aesthetic of Jujutsu Kaisen resonated with me more than it did in the show. So I'm going to give a lot of credit to the designs of the monsters and Jujutsu Kaisen's production value in this movie. And this is really basic, but I was saying when I was talking about Jujutsu Kaisen before, the nuance of cursed energy is at the heart of Jujutsu Kaisen. Like even if battles are basic, like for me, I feel like what the battles are saying, like narratively for each of the characters and thematically, is so strong. And thematically, this movie was very strong, even though it was just kind of saying the same thing as the show. Like this dude's love for this girl is stronger than Geto's justice. So when they both have their cursed energy clash with each other, like this dude's love just overpowers Geto's like justice attack like immediately. And I think that's really cool because of how cursed energy is explained. And I was saying that with Jujutsu Kaisen like before, like the first season. And yeah, I probably have a handful of other things to say. The soundtrack was fucking amazing. I love the soundtrack. Manny, I literally listen to the Jujutsu Kaisen soundtrack like every fucking day, like the normal one. And now that this came out, I listen to this shit all the time. And they really did just copy the show beat for beat, and I kind of love that. Like at the end when he's fighting Geto, you know how in the last episode of Jujutsu, like they're fighting those two demons and like they're playing a song, like a lyrical song, like that's like a rock song, and the song is in sync with them like fighting, and the lyrics are about what's happening like thematically in the fight. Like, they're fighting like in the season, they're fighting like demons who are like kind of human, but like not really. So the song's like, it's not right or wrong. It's not right or wrong. And it's like, oh my God, this is so cool. And like in the show, I don't remember the lyrics, but like the lyrics were in tune with like you gotta get big up and try again. So like it was so cool. And there was a part where like, do you remember in the anime when like Itadori and the girl are about to like land their final attacks like on both of them, and they're like standing back to back, and it cuts to Itadori, and then it cuts to the girl whenever they do a guitar. So the guitar is like bam, 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 and it cuts every single time it happens, and then it does like the lightning strike. They do that in the movie, and I'm like, oh my God, I love when they did that in the show. So I resonated with that part a lot too, and yeah, I think that's the last thing I have to say. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, I'm really happy that Jujutsu Kaisen is like growing on me slowly. Like I feel like I'm getting a little bit of shonen fatigue because I'm just watching so many shonen back to back, especially since like Jujutsu Kaisen, when I first watched it, I was like, oh, 3 kids fighting demons. Oh my God. It's just like Demon Slayer. But I'm glad that like now that time has passed, I can appreciate it for what it is. So, yeah, we can do ratings now. This was pretty long and pretty good. So 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it. What do you give it? 6. Gotcha. So you do like the Demon Slayer movie more than this one, right?
Absolutely.
So? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Rengoku was just so grand,
Yeah, it was. But even with that Rengoku stuff, I remember we were both saying that like that beginning, that first hour was...
just the Rengoku shit alone is like...
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's better than the whole JJK movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's valid.
It's how well that movie makes you like Rengoku quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly.
Yeah.
Like not many characters or movies can pull that off, where like the movie's not even about the MC, it's about this other dude, and you give a shit about him.
Right. Yeah.
The movie made that happen pretty quick.
Exactly.
I just feel like the movie, even though the train shit was weak, the ending was just so well executed, and I feel like that arc had to be a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I feel like this JJK didn't have to be a movie.
That's valid. I like these differing opinions that we have. This was a good convo. I'm glad to hear your perspective, because I don't really talk with anybody else about anime besides you. So when I get an alternative point of view, it makes me happy.
Of course.
Yeah. So I guess now it's time for us to pick the next stuff. Do you even want to pick anything for next episode?
Real quick, fucking, I saw this. When you said like 3 kids fighting demons,
mm-hmm.
I mean, it reminded me of this meme where it's like, Tanjiro is like, hey guys, we don't have to kill demons, and it was like, it shows Guts like, what the fuck do you say? Oh, that shit makes me laugh every time I see it.
I know. Yeah.
If Gus was in Demon Slayer, the show would probably be over by now.
Bro, facts. Yeah. I have more to expand on like the whole shonen anime about them fighting demons. But I will talk about that at some point in the future. I won't talk about it now. There's something that I want to talk about in relation to Jujutsu that I can't talk about yet, but when the day comes, I will remember to talk about it. So just, we'll put a pin in that for now. Yeah. So, so what do you want to watch for the next episode?
I think by the time the next episode's done, my dress up down is going to be done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna watch Tsundere Children.
Okay. So I'm going to watch Attack on Titan, and Attack on Titan is going to be something that we talk about. You joked on a previous episode, like, Attack on Titan should be its own episode. Do you actually want Attack on Titan to be like a whole episode? Do you think Attack on Titan could fit like an hour and 30 minutes, which is like kind of the shortest that I want these to be at least? Or do you think we should talk about other things as well?
If we talk about all of Attack on Titan, it'll be a long discussion, I think.
Do you feel like, do you want to do that, or do you want to just kind of do like we usually do, where we hop on and we just talk about, like, we just kind of go like wing it kind of? Do you want to prepare? Like, because it's kind of like doing homework. Like, I don't want it. It's up to you if you want to do that.
No, it doesn't have to be its own episode.
Okay, so let's do Attack on Titan, and we'll talk about that for as long. There's still no limit on that. So do you want to pick 2 movies, or do you want to pick 1? Because I still don't want to pick shows yet. Attack on Titan will finish, and I want to pick some very short things that I can watch alongside that, because I want the next episode to be like next week. Because Attack on Titan, I think, is going to end with this next episode, and Attack on Titan's on Sundays, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to call like Wednesday or like Monday next week, if possible. I want to be able to do it as soon as I finish Attack on Titan. But I haven't even started season 3, so I have a long way to go. So we will we'll talk about Attack on Titan, and then I want to pick 2 movies that are going to be easy to watch. I also don't want to, like, with Jin-Roh, I watched I watched the Red Spectacles. I watched like the live action. I watched Jin-Roh again because I felt like I need to take notes. I don't want to pick like a try hard movie, because I don't want to have to like try hard, if that makes any sense. So I want to pick something that's a little light and easy. And I have some recommendations if you are okay with me recommending them. But if you have anything in mind, then we'll do whatever you want to do. I'm going to pick things that I know I can find. I'm not going to pick a random thing. So one of my recommendations is on Netflix, and then another one I think is on Tubi or something. But if we do 2, then maybe I'll have to think about the other one. But I have one like in the bunker, if you want me to choose.
Hold on.
Take your time.
I'm like trying to see if I can find something on one of these sites. Oh, but I've watched the Kanye West documentary on Netflix.
Oh, really? How was that? Like we can talk about that after we pick the things. So
that shit is insane.
Really? Okay. We'll talk about that in further detail once we pick. It can also be a normal movie, by the way. It doesn't have to be anime.
You know what? So you never seen the Janemba movie?
No, I've seen it before. I just don't really remember it that much.
It's... Oh, bro, I was gonna tell you, bro. Fucking... When I went to watch on JJK, like, before, you know how before the movie started, they show a lot of, like, trailers and shit? Mm-hmm. They showed this fucking... a trailer for Princess Mononoke, and I was eating popcorn.
Yeah.
I was like... And it showed Princess Mononoke. I was like...
Yeah, because it's coming to theaters. They're doing that again.
Yeah, and it's like... It looks so fucking good on the big screen.
Really? Are you going to go see it? That would be so cool. We can do a second discussion. Because do you remember when we were like, oh, we don't have much to say because it's too much and we watched it a long time ago. So if you like want to do it again, like we can watch it again.
Let me see if I can. Bro, it looked so cool.
Yeah. They're doing that with like a lot of them.
I was like, oh my God. Thank God I watched all Ghibli movies. Now I can fucking... Now I'm not a noob when it comes to this shit.
April 3rd through April 9th? Yeah. April 3rd through April 9th. Wow, it's a whole week. That's pretty cool. Wait, not April 9th. Never mind. Oh, wait, no. Never mind. It's April 3rd, April 4th, and April 6th. Some of them are dub, some of them are sub. You have to pick your poison.
Bro, that shit looks so fucking cool. I can't explain how. Like, when I saw it, I was like, oh my god.
Just imagine the first time I watched this movie was in a theater, so I had
Bro.
I had the same experience.
I was like I just
Yeah.
it was breathtaking, bro. Like for real.
You know, before the Ghibli movies they're like Disney movies before Disney Plus, where like they were super strict, where it's like you have to buy these movies if you ever want to watch them. So like, what they do is they put them in theaters because they know a lot of people aren't going to buy them on DVD. Like a lot of people are not going to go out of their way to do that. So it's like, hey, do you want to come to the theater to watch it? And a lot of people do, because a lot of people haven't seen the Ghibli movies. So, yeah.
Right.
I'm surprised they're still doing it. Like I was scared, like after HBO Max like went up, like are they not going to do it anymore? But they're still doing it. Thank God.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
And have you heard of the anime Nana?
Yeah, but it's 50 episodes long. It looks cool, but it's really long.
It does look cool.
Do you want to watch it?
I will watch it one day.
Yeah, I'll watch.
Sure.
I'm gonna watch it one day too.
You know what?
That's for damn sure.
I want to watch. I'll give two. I want to pick one. Either we watch Tokyo Godfathers or the Afro Samurai movie. Oh, you've seen that one before, right?
I've seen both of them before. We can do Tokyo Godfathers because now I'm finishing Attack on Titan. I think it's appropriate for us to start the Satoshi Kon films. So, do you have something to watch? You know, you're okay with watching it on like 9anime because it's not on anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Check. I don't think it is.
The last time I saw a show on Amazon Prime was fucking Banana Fish, whatever.
Yeah.
The show's fucking gay. Well, stop laughing.
Because you called it gay, but it is gay. Is that a real gun in your profile picture?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You guys have one like in your room?
No.
Oh, okay.
No guns. No guns allowed on base.
Oh, okay. Interesting. There's a curtain behind you. It looks like a room.
It is a room, but
that's a big gun for a household. That's really cool.
It's an AK-47.
Wow. You like your guns?
Yeah.
America. What are you looking? Are you still looking for Tokyo Godfathers?
This video is currently unavailable. Rent.
Yeah, it's available to rent. It's not available to watch.
Pretty gay.
It's pretty gay.
Millennium actress.
Play movie
free with ads.
Yeah.
It's even fucking worse.
It is worse.
No bullshit.
You want to watch something else?
Nah, I still want to watch it.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch it. Is this if I'm gonna rent it or not? That's the real question.
Yeah.
The Girl Who Leapt Through Time.
You said that was on Funimation, right?
I don't know. I just saw it on Amazon Prime for that. So what are we gonna do? Godfathers.
Tokyo Godfathers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Tokyo Godfathers. And do you want to pick one more? It's up to you.
No, I still haven't seen the Cowboy Bebop movie.
I would love to do that. I have the Blu-ray. It would be easy for me to watch.
Bet.
All right. Cool. Yes, I'm very excited. I've been itching to watch that. All right, Cowboy Bebop and Tokyo Godfathers and Attack on Titan. All right. I'm excited for the next episode. So, there's some things that I actually What's up?
What was you gonna say? No, I just remember there's something I gotta tell you too.
Okay. I was just saying that like I have a couple things that I want to talk about like for like the ramble bit. So there's actually more to do for this episode. But I wanted to hear about Kanye and whatever you want to talk about. So go off.
Okay, hold on. Cowboy Bebop. Boop. And
Beep boop.
I'm gonna watch Tsundere Children. I gotta write all this shit. Tsundere Children. Children. I can't spell. And Dress Up is gonna be done. Dress Up. Darling. Do you see people like hyping her up as like the best waifu of the year or whatever?
Dress Up Darling?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not really on like Twitter and stuff like so I don't see any opinions on like anime. But is
I think what's that dude's name? Who's that big YouTuber? He made a video just about her.
Giguk.
Yeah, he just made a video about her.
Oh, really? I was saying that like as a joke.
Yeah, yeah, the best waifu of 2022, and it's the girl from Dress Up Darling.
I might check it out. You speak very positively of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So the Kanye thing.
Mm-hmm.
Kanye thing is really interesting because the first episode, it starts off with the cameraman being like, he was a comedian, and he knew Kanye. They both grew up in Chicago. This dude stopped whatever he was doing with his career and was like, I'm gonna film Kanye before he got famous. Right? He was like, I'm gonna film this guy because I know he's gonna be big. That alone was mind blowing. Like,
that's
this
really
dude
interesting.
Stopped his whole career. Was like, I'm gonna film this guy, right?
Ah. And
like, this was the time when he was just a producer, just giving out beats and shit. And then like Kanye is like in the documentary, like, fuck being a producer. I want to be a rapper and a producer. And like, he's popular for his beats and shit, right? So like, whenever you meet, this is like old footage too, like back in the day, like 2000s. They'd be like, you go to a famous rapper and be like, hey, what's up, man? Kanye West. And they'll be like, that's cool, man. Can I get some beats, bro? And you'd be like, yeah. And then and he would like have his own song. He would show other rappers his song and be like, bro, this is Kanye West, my boy. He makes the best beats. And he's just like, yeah. It's so interesting because the dude is still like recording. So like, and it's just, everyone just saw him as just the beat guy, right? Yeah. And then he drops his first album, and like he won like so many Grammys, right? It's insane, but it's so fascinating seeing him, like his drive and his motivation to become like a rapper, when everyone's just like playing him down as just the beat guy, right? It's just so fascinating, like, and it's also surprising that this dude is just recording him off a whim that he think he's gonna make it,
right?
And he did make it. It's like, it's so like mind-boggling. It's so motivational. Like, you can see the drive on, like, on Kanye. Like, it's insane. I'm not even a huge Kanye fan, but like seeing that was just like it's crazy. And that's episode 1. It's crazy. And then eventually, like, he got in the car accident. That's why his jaw's so huge. And he made that song Through the Wire. And he's rapping like through his jaw being wide shut. And then he's showing it to Pharrell. And Pharrell, like, this is way back before the song came out. And Pharrell's like, "It's one of the hardest, one of the best thing I ever heard." Pharrell's going crazy. Like, he's showing it to like other people and shit. And then like they make the music video. And this is when back in MTV was like everything, right? And then
right,
like,
yeah.
it was like MTV Music Video of the Month. Right. He was going crazy, and then like, but back to Pharrell. Pharrell was like, "Yo, he's rapping through his jaw."
Yeah.
It's so dope, and it was like, I can like imagine being in Kanye's shoes, like seeing like someone like Pharrell, like he's so huge in the game, being like going crazy to your song. Yeah. And it's so like it's inspiring. It's all inspiring, like the seeing how he came up and like his drive. Like,
right.
I feel like I said this while I was watching the show. I told my boy, I was like, in a million different universes, like Kanye would still be rapping in all of them. Like, he was born to do this. It was like that's how I feel about it. Like, he was born to do this. He's Jesus. That's like really the vibe. This is really the vibe I got from episode 1. Yeah. It was really good. It's a really good documentary. Mm-hmm. And then episode 2 is also good, but then episode 3 is like modern day, and how like the cameraman and Kanye kind of like fell apart with him getting more famous and shit. Right. But that episode 1 was like, it was really good. Yeah, so that's the Jeen-Yuhs, that's what they call it. That's that. And then
I thought it was
Jeen-Yuhs, like Jeen. Yes, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I am like the biggest. Kanye is the only rapper I listen to. He's like the only person. If he released something new, I will listen to it, even before his like rise to infamous fame. Kanye is my favorite rapper, and a lot of the stuff that when I heard that they were making the documentary and it was 4 hours long, I didn't know it was going to be in 3 parts, but like it was initially advertised like it's a 4-hour movie and it's called Jeen-Yuhs. I'm like, oh, Kanye, you pretentious piece of shit. Like, so I didn't watch it purely on that principle, because it seemed as if it was like a puff piece of Kanye in a time where Kanye is getting a lot of shit. And I'm like, okay, I love you, buddy, but I don't know if I want to watch like an ego project kind of thing. The way you talk about it makes it sound cool. I think really... I watched like some people talk about it and like some reviews, and as a Kanye fan already, a lot of the stuff you're saying is stuff I already know, like about him being a producer and Through the Wire and da-da-da-da-da. And it's probably fun to watch that through the context of like this random guy recording everything. But I think based on the reviews and based on just me, I think the reason why I avoided it was because I just wanted to see something new, and it felt like they were promoting it. Maybe this is just my perspective. Maybe they didn't promote it this way, but I was like, if it's not going to show anything that I don't already know, then it's not worth my time.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Yeah. Like, I already, of course, everyone knows about the producing. I already knew Through the Wire. Yeah. These song lyrics tell it all. But it's not even like through the Wire thing. It's just like people's reaction to it. But the whole producer thing, it's really like it really changed my perspective on him, seeing it through the camera, where people are like, yo, you're a good rapper, bro, but yo, send me some beats, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, yo, I heard of Kanye. Yeah, he can rap a little, yeah, but you should send me some beats.
In the first part, when did they ever mention that he was making beats for Jay-Z? Like, yeah. So knowing that he's making beats for Jay-Z, people were that passive towards him. Like, people were like not giving him a lot of love despite that, because that's pretty high pedigree in and of itself, you know, even at the time.
That is, but people would like, he would like try to like I remember he was like went to the label played them his songs. I forgot what song. One of his popular songs. He played them a song, and they're all just like brushing it off, which later would become one of his most popular songs. And it's like, it's so fascinating to see people that's like, here comes the producer trying to rap. Like,
wow.
it was like so cool seeing it from the camera, and like the dude's like filming it all, like literally like one of his most popular songs. People are like, here comes the producer guy, you know.
Wow.
It's cool, and just see how like he prevails, like this, how like the whole rap game is like playing him down as producer. To see him like overcome that,
Right.
drop his first album and win all those Grammys, it was fire.
That's really cool. That's awesome.
I thought it was really good.
Okay.
What I wish the documentary did, you know, the whole Taylor Swift thing. I wish they talked about that.
Yeah, they didn't. That's another thing. It's called Jeen-Yuhs. So I don't know if they're really going to talk about all the controversial bits of Kanye's current and past life.
They do in the last episode.
Okay.
Some all the modern shit.
They do.
You know, when he's like going crazy and like.
Yeah, and he's still going crazy.
Remember when he's like running for president, him crying, my dad wanted to abort me. I want to abort my daughter.
They talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, I might check it out because who talks about it though?
The cameraman.
Okay.
And the cameraman aren't friends at the time.
Right. How interesting is the perspective of the cameraman about Kanye?
I think it is because the dude, they're good as friends.
Okay.
And because they had a little fallout when he got more famous, it's interesting seeing how he talked about like his old friend.
Right.
Because like people would just talk it up to Kanye being crazy, but he would be like, "Yo, I'm really trying to make sure my friends are all right." So that's like kind of what he talks about.
Yeah. All right.
But the whole producer thing was just so cool. Just seeing it.
I'll check it out.
I just wish they talked about the Taylor Swift thing. Even we know what happened, because you know, like after the Taylor Swift, he drops my Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Right.
That's like his album, and they did not talk about that shit at all.
I love that album. I love it.
I feel like they missed it. That's like,
that's the best anime arc in Kanye's.
It really is.
It's so like fire.
Because like he came back from being most hated to most loved off just good music. Yeah,
dude, that album.
I thought the documentary was good. I feel like it's worth your while.
Yeah. Okay. It's really long, and that's another reason why like I avoided it. It's not something that you can like get through quickly, but I will check it out because you said positive things.
If you don't like it off the first episode, then
okay, gotcha. I'll take that into account. I'll watch because it's only an hour long, right? The first one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll watch episode 1.
Yeah. And then I saw one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
I saw How I Met Your Father.
Oh. Okay.
I watched it because I'm a huge How I Met Your Mother fan.
Yeah.
I watched all of How I Met Your Mother probably like 3 times. I love that show. Yeah. It's 8 seasons long. It's long as shit. I watched it like 3 times though, but I love How I Met Your Mother. And and this How I Met Your Father made me realize like I really do like sitcom. I do find this shit funny, like you know, that 70s show, especially Seinfeld. Like when I was in high school, I used to come home and just watch Seinfeld. I love that shit. I'll watch it on TV and that'll make it better.
Yeah, Seinfeld's awesome.
It'll be like random episodes, even though this show is episodic anyway.
I know. But you get the proper experience. That's how you're supposed to watch Seinfeld, like random ass episodes. Yeah. And
I love Seinfeld. Everyone I talk to says, "You like Seinfeld?" I'm like,
really? There are some people that like take pride in like not finding Seinfeld funny, and I can understand why some people might not find the laugh track enjoyable, but I love Seinfeld. Seinfeld's awesome.
I think the cast is just so good.
Yeah, it's
Jerry, George, the crazy dude,
Kramer. Yeah.
Kramer.
Nigger.
And I think the cast is like the greatest sitcom cast. It's like it's so funny. All of them are so funny.
Yeah.
And then I love Seinfeld. Then I watch How after watching How I Met Your Mother, and like I saw How I Met Your Father was coming out, and I was like, It should probably be ass. The main character's a female. I want to see a female get fucked by a dude. Because that's what How I Met Your Mother is like the main character, like,
right, trying to get pussy.
getting into relationships,
right.
And eventually he meets his mom. And now I was like, I don't want to see this bitch go fuck guys to meet his dad. Whatever.
Right.
But I watched it. It was only 10 episodes for the season. And I really liked it. I really liked it. Is it better than How I Met Your Mother? I don't know, because How I Met Your Mother is 8 seasons. But
so it's about the girl that met the dude in.
No.
It's a completely different cast.
Yes.
Okay. And it
has fan service, because like the first episode at the end is like, yo, I bought this new apartment from this dude, and it's the same apartment.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
And then this like they changed like the setting of where the characters usually meet at a bar, but in the last episode she goes to the bar from How I Met Your Mother. You're like, oh shit, and then she meets the character from How I Met Your Mother.
Oh shit!
In the show, like when she's like fully grown.
Right.
And she was like, the main character, the main female character was like, oh, but this dude told me he loved me, and then the main pretty much the main character from How I Met Your Mother was like, trust me, I know all about relationships because you already know her story.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool, but
that's cool.
I hope they keep going with the cameos, but I enjoyed it.
That's cool.
I feel like but I feel like you have to watch How I Met Your Mother to like enjoy the show.
Yeah.
But I really liked it.
That's good. Have you ever seen Curb Your Enthusiasm? Do you know what that is? Yeah.
I know that guy also made Seinfeld too.
Yeah, you should check that out if you like Seinfeld. It's Seinfeld, but man, and if you like cameos, that show, because the show is about Larry David himself, in the same way that Seinfeld is about Jerry Seinfeld. Like Larry David, he plays himself. So in the canon of the show, people are like, "Hey, you're the guy that made Seinfeld." Like people tell him that, and there's like a whole season where like the plot is like, "Hey, let's get the gang back together," and like he's talking to the cast from Seinfeld as the actors, not as the characters. So like he's talking to Elaine like as her actor and Jerry as like it's so and it's really good.
That's cool as fuck.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it's still going. He's old as hell and he's still making the show. And it's very, very funny. And it's so much more crass than Seinfeld. Like it's so, because it's on HBO, like they get to do a little bit more. Like he's a lot more, like him as a character is a lot more rude than Seinfeld, which makes the show like hilarious because he just doesn't give a fuck. You should watch that show. Yeah, it's very good.
I always thought about it.
Yeah, my favorite sitcoms are Curb Your Enthusiasm, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and those are the two that really come to mind. But yeah, sitcoms are cool. They're very cool. Yeah. So I have a couple of things that I want to bring up. These are anime related things that I think will be interesting to talk about. You watch all of Black Clover, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that they're making a Black Clover movie now? Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah, I did not either. I just wanted to ask you how you felt about that.
Cool.
Yeah, it is cool. I think there's a trailer. I didn't watch it though.
Black Clover and movie budget animation will look insane.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
I think. See, I already know. Like, this movie has a lot of potential. If they're gonna do the next arc, this is gonna be movie worthy.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be cool.
I'm already excited.
That's dope. I never want to watch Black Clover because it's too long, but I don't dislike the characters or the world. Can I watch the movie and just like, or are there?
I don't know what's in the movie.
No, I'm saying like, do I need to watch the show? Is it like super necessary because of events that transpire, or I know the main characters. Like, will that be enough? You think? Well, you said you don't know what's in the movie, so.
Yeah, I don't know what happens in the next arc. I know the villain.
Okay.
The villain cool.
Wasn't the villain of like the show like the devil, like Satan himself or something? No.
Maybe, but not. He hasn't pulled up yet.
Okay, interesting. I just saw clips of that on YouTube, and I was like, "Whoa, this dude looks cool." I like the designs in Black Clover. I like how they draw the characters, especially in the manga.
I like Asta.
Mm-hmm.
Asta draw me because they had a little time skip.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, and he got way like buffer, I guess.
Yeah.
And like you can tell he's grown a little. It's not a huge time skip, but his face definitely changed. And like, Black Clover definitely got better as it went on.
Okay, that's interesting.
Black Clover is kind of like slightly underrated.
Mm-hmm. I think it's underrated because it was at a time where My Hero and stuff in the same vein as like, hey, we like seasonal stuff like Attack on Titan, where you guys get to focus on the animation, not like Dragon Ball Super. It was like around that time. And then Black Clover came out, and Black Clover was talked about to the same extent that My Hero was. People were like, oh my God, Black Clover, Black Clover. And then when people realized, oh, this is not like seasonal, okay, so it's not going to look good. Oh, and it's kind of like Naruto. Okay. I don't think those first few episodes helped at all. No. Like those first like 3. I think that's why a lot of people fell off of it. But
yeah, the show doesn't really, it's like Yu Yu Hakusho. Like it takes to like episode 20
to get good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to like episode 19. I really tried.
You just missed the mark.
I know, right? Like, yeah, it was tough. It was tough, but maybe by a very slim chance, I will check out the manga because I really like the art in the manga. I think it looks very good. Coolest character designs. Very nice.
They should have put fucking the sword in Elden Ring.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. Black Clover reference. Put a witch Clover thing next to it.
I'm looking at the trailer.
Let me see the trailer too. I'll look at it on my phone.
Black Clover. It looked fucking awful.
The trailer? Really? Yeah.
Somebody seen it terrible. Hopefully this isn't the movie. The movie isn't done, but
right. Yeah.
It looks terrible. I'm excited though.
I'm looking at the trailer. It definitely does look like the show. Like the best parts of the show are like the trailer. Like that's it. Yeah. That's that.
Girl, the show did have good animation during like the major fight of the show, like this first season. The animation was good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw clips of those where it was like, oh, like they did like the fight scene like well. I got very discouraged when I got to Mars and like he was kind of a major fight and I don't want to say he was a major fight, but he was a large scale battle. Like in the context of the show, there were explosions and stuff. And when that was done poorly, I was like, oh man. And that's when I kind of backed out. But then I saw that they like actually did like another fight like pretty well, and I was like, fuck. You guys should have done that for the Mars fight. I would have kept watching. But
I'm happy I fucking finished that shit.
Yeah. You watched it weekly? Or you binged the whole thing?
I think I caught up.
Mm-hmm.
I caught up. Like I caught up. It took me a while to catch up though.
Yeah.
I was far behind. I dropped it at like episode 10.
Yeah, a lot of people did. Yeah.
And like, you know what? I fucking like saw an opening of the show, like like Crunchyroll just recommended me like opening 8. I watched it. I was like, I gotta watch the show.
Really?
Yeah.
I watch all the openings of Black Clover. I like them all. It's really good. Black Clover. It's really good. It's got good openings.
A lot of good openings. Yeah.
Yeah. I also wanted to mention. Is there anything else you want to say about Black Clover?
I'm actually excited for the movie.
Yeah.
2023.
2023.
I like that. I like Demon Slayer like lit a fun fire under studios. Now they want to make movies.
Yeah, now everybody wants to make movies. I'm happy that it's happening. I'm happy that I'm going to theaters and watching anime with a crowd. It's really fun. I'm excited to experience that in full. Hopefully it comes out in America. Hopefully Black Clover like is popping enough for people for it to get like a wide release. Because I know it's not like the hottest shit on the block, but hopefully it gets like a release where like, you know, everybody can see it in a theater near them, even if it's only for like a day or two. But yeah, what did you think of? Well, yeah, I don't know why I said that. Yeah, I wanted to mention that Makoto Shinkai, Your Name, Weathering with You, Boy, he announced another movie. And I don't think there's a trailer, but I do think there's a poster. And it's coming out in 2023. I don't remember the name, but it's anime news. Just wanted to mention that. I'm looking forward to it because I like Weathering with You. And I'm excited to see whatever he does next. So there's that.
Cool.
Yeah, I need to watch his other movies because he has a handful. Like 5 centimeters per second is one that a lot of people talk about. Have you heard that? Yeah.
I was going to recommend that today.
Yeah. I mean, is it on anything? I mean,
it's on Crunchyroll. It was.
It was. Look it up.
5 centimeters. I guess it's not anymore. I was meaning to watch it.
Fuck. Yeah, G-Kids just got the rights, so it might get a theatrical release or like a digital one at least, unless if it doesn't already have one. Let's see. Let's look at it. Let's look it up. See if it's on anything. 5.
I think.
Go ahead.
I think this movie is referenced in the Garden of Words.
Really? It's all a shared universe. Yeah, he likes to do that, I guess. That's very interesting. I have to watch the Makoto Shinkai cinematic universe. Yeah. Thanos is going to come and he's going to make 2 people not fall in love. Let 50% of the universe die or save the girl. Save the girl.
We know what the Weatherman you guys are gonna
do. Yeah.
Don't give him that off, please. We're all fucking dead.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just wanted to mention that briefly. That'll be cool whenever it drops.
I wonder why your game was so popular.
Because a lot of people didn't notice the flaws.
Yeah, but like, what do you choose? It's like it's just like better.
Yeah, it is. I do agree.
Your game was so like, I remember when it came out in 2016. It was like all you could see.
Yeah.
When it came to anime.
Yeah, I liked it in 2016 too. So, I'll chalk my liking it to just not recognizing the issues and
not even liking it. Just like, why was it so like popular? Like,
I don't know.
It has an 8.4 on IMDb.
I think it was marketed very well. I think there were like commercials and like it was trending on social media, and like I think the way it was marketed really helped. Maybe that can be attributed.
It has incredible reviews.
Yeah, because to a lot of people, it was like the best movie ever.
It just looks very good though.
Yeah, it's still a very good looking movie. And I can
it was
understand.
Like number 2 on like MyAnimeList for a long time.
Yeah.
It was like number 2. It like rivaled fucking Full Metal Alchemist.
and
They
then
got
people,
pushed.
and then people came to their senses.
Yeah. What's on top of Mal? Full Metal. I love that Attack on Titan up there.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Attack on Titan is 4 and 5. Fruits Basket.
Fruits Basket.
Fucking what's the show called again? Legendary Galactic niggas dropped
Drop down where?
to 11. It's still like
Yeah.
it's all like a pretty much a tie.
Yeah.
I wonder if Full Metal is ever gonna be beat on this list.
Yeah.
I need to rewatch Full Metal.
Me too. That's a lot of people's default answer for like best anime.
Yeah.
I want to rewatch Full Metal as well. Whenever you decide to do so, let me know. I'll rewatch it with you.
Instead of watching Full Metal, we can watch Nana.
Yeah, I would like to watch Nana. I wonder, because it's old, so I wonder if it's like an episodic thing, if there's a story, if like I'm interested what kind of show it is, because there are a lot of old anime that are like 50 plus episodes that are just kind of fun episodic adventures. Is Nana a story, or is it
like GTO?
Well,
Great teacher.
I've never seen GTO, but is that what that is? It doesn't have like a story or anything?
No, it's just long. It's long.
Oh, really? I thought it was like 6 episodes.
6?
How many episodes is it?
Definitely not 6.
Wow. It's more than like 26?
I believe so.
Interesting. Yeah, is it going to be like GTO, or is it going to be like Monster, or like Legend of the Galactic Heroes?
Monster.
Yeah.
43 episodes.
Oh, wow. Fuck. I never knew that. I think I'm confusing it with Golden Boy. I get those two mixed up because they look like cool. And they both have GTO?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No.
There's a lot of old shows we got to watch, Manny. There's a lot of 50 episode joints before we die.
Our final episode is going to be Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Yeah.
That's when we officially ran out of anime.
Yeah, it'll be when we're 80 years old. So, I thought the main character was cool. And you're going to be like, well, I thought it was boring. What did you say?
Like, it's not fucking better than fucking the Black Clover movie.
That's gonna be fun. I'm excited for.
I want to see Violet Evergarden too.
Say again?
Violet Evergarden.
Oh man, I love Violet Evergarden, dude.
I never watched that. Have you ever seen Clanhead?
No, I would love to watch Clanhead. I've heard a lot of things about it.
Yeah.
What other anime are on your little watch list in the back of your head?
Monogatari, fucking universe.
Dude, I'm waiting for that day when we can start those. Like, I have that in the back of my head too. I've heard it's like it's try hard, like from what I've seen of it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good shit from that.
Yeah.
Like Keys and Monogatari. Oh, that's a good one.
There's a lot of like Monogatari. Like there's like multiple in the same, like they're like a franchise. It's weird. There's Bake, Kizu. I don't know. There's other ones too.
Owari.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Then I watch Monster.
Mm-hmm.
Night, the movie's that high. Damn, I gotta fucking watch that show.
Maybe I should watch the show so we can talk about it. What?
This is definitely Chinese. This is not Japanese. Mo Daozushi Wajimi Banya.
Why you wow 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 wow.
Hold on. I've seen a Chinese anime before.
I watched an anime called Thunderbolt Fantasy. I wouldn't even call it an anime. It was like with puppets. It was very interesting.
86 Part 2.
What the fuck is that show?
That show it came out last year. I watched the first part. I was not impressed, but it's ranked 47 now with an 8.7. I guess I have to watch it.
Yeah.
Bro, I've never watched Your Lie in April.
Me neither. I'm gonna add that to like my Manny recommended. I didn't know. That would be a good anime for both of us to watch. That's like really popular. Neither of us have seen it. We should watch
Have you seen
that.
Haruhi Suzumiya?
No. You mentioned that on like the first episode. I do want to watch that though. I've heard good things.
No way JoJo Part 5 is the highest rated JoJo.
It's just because it's the most recent.
JoJo. I like seeing JoJo die. Jujutsu Zero is ranked 86. It's higher than the end of Evangelion. This is where I crossed the line.
Yeah, Mugen Train is above Princess Mononoke, so it doesn't matter. Nothing matters anymore.
I never ever in my life took this list serious.
Yeah, it's just stats. It's just what people think.
I feel like Steins Gate is the only thing that's accurate here.
Yeah.
Attack on Titan. I just don't like how they have like Gintama like ranked like 7 different times in like the top 10. Like, yo, chill.
Yeah, because they do them by season. It's really
Gintama's, I swear, if I watch Gintama's not this good, bro. Maybe I'm just hating, but
it's too long for me to even give it a try. Like I'm never gonna try it because it's too long. But I heard good things. It doesn't, based on what I've heard, it sounds like something I would enjoy. But I don't got that type of time.
Yeah. Well. All right. We got a lot of good shows to watch.
Yeah, we do.
I think our next anime should be Your Lie in April.
That would be really fun. I would like that as well.
I think we do that. We do Clan Ed. Then we do Monogatari.
Yeah. Yeah.
We gotta watch the Monte Cristo show.
Yes, we do. I'm like familiar with that story too, so that will be fun. Because that's like based on like it's like an old, not Shakespeare.
Yeah, Monte Cristo. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah, I have like a whole list of shows that I know you haven't seen that like I'm ready to recommend. Like Harui's on there, Your Lie in April's on there. I'll put Clan Ad on there.
But Violet Evergarden too.
Okay.
If you watch Violet Evergarden, we gotta watch the movies.
I already watched it. I've already
the
seen
whole thing.
Yeah, I've seen the whole thing and the movie.
Oh man.
Yeah. That was like before we even like started doing this though. That's why.
Yeah, I'm kind of mad that I didn't watch that shit when it's coming out.
It was on Netflix.
I was probably watching some fucking dumb shit.
Yeah.
Probably watching some fucking isekai.
Mm-hmm. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. There were 2 movies on Violet Evergarden. I saw both of them in theaters. Oh, that shit was so crazy. That was fun.
Whenever an anime is coming to theaters, I'm going to watch it no matter what.
Cool. That's good because I I would like to do that too. It'll be fun to, because I wanted to do that with like Belle, but I was like, man, he probably doesn't want to go to a theater to watch this. So, but next time a popular anime movie comes out, that's what we'll do. I like when we do the theater ones and then like when we have like a main one and then we have like 2 like side ones. That's always fun. It makes the episodes feel relevant.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I'm excited for the anime we got lined up.
Yeah, this one will be fun. So what did you I'm sorry, what did you
Tokyo Godfathers.
No, what did you say for like things to add to the list? The anime
Regarding Clannad, Haruhi, Monogatari, Monte Cristo.
Yeah, Monte Cristo. Monte Cristo. God damn, there's like 20 movies that pop up. Monte Cristo's already there. There we go.
You gotta do Illang April.
Yep. Hi Bonnie Renmei. I'm still looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely put that one down.
And Serial Experiments Lane. I'm also looking forward to that.
Fuck yeah, that's gonna be a tryhard.
Yeah, that's like the only like major classic one. I guess Your Lie in April too that we haven't seen, or that's not that you haven't seen, because like when I look at your list, I'm like, this is like every popular show that's like existed for our anime generation.
Yeah, I remember when I was first watching anime, my I wanted to like join the conversation, so I watched the popular shit.
Yeah, when I was first watching anime, I on the Adult Swim app, like I trusted Adult Swim as like a person to recommend a show to me, because like I don't know, Adult Swim in and of itself is kind of like a personality, right? So like if Adult Swim like puts something on Toonami, it's basically Adult Swim saying like, hey, this is like, we think this is cool, you should check this out. So on the Adult Swim app in high school, they would do marathons, free marathons of just like random shows like Cowboy Bebop, and they would do 24-hour marathons of Cowboy Bebop every week. So that's how I watched Cowboy Bebop, that's how I watched Space Dandy, that's how I watched Ghost in the Shell. That's how I got into most of the stuff that I got into. Yeah. That was my experience with anime. I also wanted to be part of the conversation. So my friends, like the anime friends that I had online, with them it was about like One Piece. So that's why I'm like actually caught up to One Piece, because of them. Yeah. And yeah. And then when I was doing YouTube, whenever a game came out, I was like, I have to read the manga on this game. So the reason why I read Berserk before anybody else was because the game was coming out. And the reason why I read JoJo was because the game was coming out. And that's my story.
Yeah. But I got one more show to add on. Add on this right here. Link Click.
Yeah, Link Click. That might already be there. No, but you mentioned it on like one of the first episodes. I remember it.
Yeah, it's a Chinese one.
Really?
It's 12 episodes. And I heard it's spectacular.
All right.
From what I remember, I'm not going to read the synopsis. I think we should watch this the next episode. The next one. This is only 12. But from what I remember, the dude goes into people's bodies and like experiences like their pain.
Yeah. Do you want to reserve? So what are we gonna do with Sonny Boy? Are we just gonna wait until I eventually watch it, or do we want to?
You can watch it whenever.
Okay, I'll watch it just whenever, and then we'll talk about it. Additionally on one of them, but yeah, that's that. It's a wrap, folks. All right, so we got Tokyo Godfathers, Attack on Titan, and Cowboy Bebop the movie. So we'll try to get all of these done by Like let's aim for Wednesday next week, like this Wednesday. So yeah, that shouldn't be too hard. All right. Once again, thank you, Manny. It's always a pleasure. That is it's been fun. I enjoy talking to you. I miss this. I literally was like waiting all week, looking forward to this call. I had so much to say, so much to talk about.
These episodes, it's just so fun.
Very fun. All right, so I'm going to.
We don't have people to talk about this shit with.
I know.
If we go this deep with other people, they wouldn't get
it. They wouldn't. It's always.
If I tried to explain Porco Rosso to someone, they wouldn't get
it. Yeah, man. I want to send you something for your birthday. Can you text me your address for when I do that?
Sure.
All right. Do that when you get the chance. May 20th, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just want to remember that.
Yeah. The only reason I remember is because it's the day after my mom's birthday. That's why.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm expecting the whole collection of Berserk.
No, that cost like $300. That was so expensive. I still need to get those future volumes, but yeah. All right, buddy. I'm bouncing. I'm out of here.
Bro. Good episode.
Right. Yes, good episode. See you next time.
All right, see you, bro.
Deuces.